much longer.
Yeah, poor John. It's like, what's going on, man?
Hey there, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Alien Investigations, a channel dedicated to the X-Files Collectible Card Game. And we're coming at you just days before Christmas. And as you can see, I've got my holiday tree set up here, decked out with X-Files CCG cards, because, it wouldn't be Christmas if I didn't have my X-Files CCG decked out Christmas tree right here. For this matchup, we're bringing you, which is the 10th playtest game for the upcoming Season 5 expansion that we are working diligently to bring to you, those of you who are going to be interested in getting your hands on a copy of this fan-made expansion once it's all said and done. Still, at this point, we're looking at several months before it'll be ready for order. Because, as I said, this is the 10th playtest, but we are still looking at maybe another 10 playtests, maybe more, a lot more, because we want to make sure each of the 175 cards that are making up this expansion are each given a stress test that proves they are mechanically sound and worthwhile additions to the X-Files CCG universe. And I've got two very gracious fans of the game here who are going to be putting these cards through that stress test. And as I said, this is the 10th one. And actually, both of these gentlemen, John Yost here from Pennsylvania and Nathan Petroshak from Wisconsin, both of you guys have each done a couple of play tests already. And actually, I think you two have squared off in 2 play tests prior to this one. So this is interesting. And actually, if talking to Nathan just prior to going live, he told me that he's sort of on a bit of a losing streak with regards to his games with John. John has been giving him a run for his money as of late. So, Nathan, what are you doing tonight that's different? Do you feel like the tides are going to turn with the latest deck that you've brought to this, the team of agents that you've enlisted?
Well, Stephen, I'm a big believer in the gambler's fallacy, and I've come up red 4 games in a row, I think, and I'm about to turn it black today. So.
Meanwhile, John, on the other hand, you've got a bit of a winning streak going because, as I've said, you've bested Nathan in the 2 previous play tests you've done with him.
Oh, we have quite a streak, actually.
Yeah.
Nathan beat me really badly our very first meetup, and
which was in the tournament.
I was creamed in like the first round or something. It was all over, and since then I've had quite the run in a couple of private games, a few games here on play testing. So yes, I am probably up by like 4 or 5 games at this point. So I certainly deserve to be taken down a notch.
Well, so you're sitting pretty at this point. So, go ahead. Go ahead, Nathan.
I have when we bring my play table in here, we're rocking a different play mat today. We've got some pretty badass Walking Dead sleeves. So hopefully the good karma is flowing.
And so that begs the question, John, since you're sitting pretty at this point with all of the wins that you've racked up as of late, the question is, are you doing anything differently with your playtest deck? Or are we looking at the same deck that you've brought to previous ones, same team of agents?
No, I mixed it up each time, and I think that's part of the problem tonight because I got myself on a different team of agents, but didn't prepare my deck by rearranging the sites. So I was scrambling before this game to find, oh, wait a minute, I need sites that actually go with these agents. I need to pull out the ones that they can't really take advantage of. I haven't completed doing that, but it'll be fun anyway.
Give me one moment to deal with my dog.
Excellent. And while Nathan is doing that, I do want to thank everyone who is tuning in for this live chat. Those of you who follow the channel, as well as all the goings on in our Discord community and even to a lesser extent our Facebook community, the X-Files Collectible Card Game. We are in the thick of a pretty massive project in which these fan-made expansions are representing each of the seasons of the X-Files that did not get an expansion before this beloved game went belly up back in '98. And at that point, we only saw the first 3 seasons represented on these cards. So what we're doing is creating expansions that cover all the episodes and films that came since. And we have already released one expansion for this 4th season. And we have just recently, and when I say we, that includes our dear leader, Dax Golding, head of the X-Files CCG Facebook group. He has just recently released a copy of an expansion covering the first X-Files feature film, Fight the Future. That's a 54 card set that you can order now. So you just reach out to him. You can find him in our Discord community. Link for that in the description below, as is the link for the X-Files CCG Facebook group. You can find him there. Reach out to him, and he gets you set up with a deck of a batch of those cards, as well as the ones for the season 4 expansion. However, with regards to the season 4 expansion, I want to let you know that I have an announcement regarding the season 4 expansion that I'm going to bring to you at the end of tonight's matchup. So be sure to stick around for that. Yes, it's
a trailer, a little sneak preview.
As in, don't touch that dial until this matchup, or don't touch it. As in, don't touch that dial until after we have said goodnight. Not when the game's over, but until we've said goodnight, because we got a big piece of information regarding the season 4 expansion coming to you at the end of this matchup. So why don't we get to our game? And as Nathan alluded to earlier, he's got a new playmat. He's got new custom sleeves. So I'm not going to have you guys waiting any longer. I'm going to bring in your guys' tables, and I'm going to send myself to the back, and you guys can summon me when and if you should have any questions about any of the cards in this play set or this playtest set that maybe have call into question. All right, gentlemen, you both got your X-Files ready, your hidden X-File that is going to mark the end of the game. This is a playtest game, but we still play it in the standard format. We stop when a winner has been declared. Gentlemen, any last words before I head to the back?
Good luck.
I guess I know what you're all wondering about the Blackwood's Fight the Future set. Does it include vending machine bomb? And the answer is yes, it does. That's my plug.
Yeah, no, that's a great plug, because I think that's probably everyone's favorite from that set. So yes, it is part of that. So if that's not worth the price of admission, I don't know what is. Anyway, so I'm gonna head to the back. You guys have a great game, and let me know if you have any questions.
All right, thanks, Stephen.
Awesome. Hey man, how's it going?
All right, so here you go, John. As you can
I had some
see,
last minute organization. I had my site cards with in different sleeves. I had the wrong site cards, so I've been scrambling around to try to rectify that situation.
And here, this is my effort to break the losing spell. We've got this beautiful new playmat from. This is Stephen was wondering what this is, and I don't blame him for not knowing. This is a Magic the Gathering reference here.
Oh.
We've got some old school cards that were reworked for a recent set. So this is if any of you played in Antiquities, this is the Urza's Mine, Urza's Power Plant, and Urza's Tower, and this is Karn's Silver Golem, and these are all new cards, new art for the cards that came out with the, I think it was Double Masters set, but you put the cards together and they form this kind of really cool scene. So I was looking around for playmats today. I'm like, we've gotta do something new here. And so this is what we're going with on playmat. And as Stephen mentioned, we've got these slick Michonne sleeves from Walking
wow.
Dead. So we've got some hopefully some good karma. Yeah, Michonne is kicking it in Magic Land. Actually, I bought these sleeves specifically for a set that came out, a Magic set, where they it's called their Secret Lair. It's like they created Magic cards out of all of the main characters from The Walking Dead.
Oh,
So
wow.
I bought these. Yeah, so I bought these sleeves specifically to create some decks with those new Magic character cards. So pretty cool. I should bring them on my channel at some point, which is under my name, Chasing the Dragon.
Well, I don't have anything quite so dramatic for my playmat. It's something that my sister-in-law got us to keep the puzzle pieces on the table when the cat decided to jump up and try to eat them. And so it's like a mat that goes over top of your jigsaw puzzle to keep the pieces in place. You're not there and the cats are. But I hijacked it for the purposes of playing this game. And I have it laid out with my resource pool and my conspiracy pool and a couple of other accoutrements. Here's the X-File for tonight. And I'm going to show you my guys, my investigating team tonight. This is actually the first time I played a game with 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬. So she's coming out tonight. And then there were a couple of cards from this set that really kind of featured her, which gave me the idea for it. So we brought in Sheriff Lucius Hartwell that gets a 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 boost, and Detective John Cresty, who gets a 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 boost, and then Holly Patton, because she's part of the set and takes me up to 19.
All right, so you're just leaving that one floating, huh? You didn't want to put Cresty
Yeah, I
in
thought
the
about
team?
it. I thought, well, I couldn't find a one in a new set, and I thought, well, I could have swapped in Henderson instead, and that probably would have been better. But this is what I'm running with.
It's playtest.
So,
It's playtest. It's all
unless
good.
there's surprises, there might be a surprise later on. We'll see if.
All right, so I think you've seen my team before. This is I actually have no season 5 agents on my team. This is all commercially released agents, and Steven's probably going, "What the heck, Nate?" But don't worry, Steven. Don't worry. Like I said, I have like 3 or 4 other deck ideas for this set, and they all prominently feature agents from season 5. So you'll see them. You'll see them. As I tell my 3-year-old, patience.
Well, there are lots of good cards in this set, and I think this is my 4th or 5th incarnation of cards, predominantly from season 5. So they've been fun to play with.
I mean, 175 cards. There's fertile ground to plow there, you know. So
yeah,
and you can have the option if you want to go first as the investigating player, if you want to play as conspiracy.
Oh, we'll flip for it. You want heads or tails?
I usually pick heads, so we'll pick tails this time.
You are correct. It is tails.
Yeah. All right. See, my fortunes are turning already.
Looks like some sort of state quarter with Oregon. So we got Crystal Lake or Crater Lake. Here we go.
Nice.
See, Crater Lake for tails.
It's no Lake 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, but
no, that'd be great. I'll just come with a special quarter for that one. It's played enough.
All right, so just so everyone who's watching knows, it's my team is a bureaucracy heavy team. We've got Colton, we've got Section Chief Blevins, we've got Krychek, we've got Walter Skinner. So they're the bureaucracy heavy hitters, and yeah. So we're going to let's get started. I've got my 7 cards. I'm going to draw a card. And we're going to go right to generate res here. So we've got this is one of the highest res teams I think you can have. So Colton adds 2, Blevins adds 2 because he's in the bureau section. Krychek adds 2, and then Skinner is in the bureau, so he's going to add 3. So right off the bat, we're going to add 9 RP, unless I want to throw. Unless I want to throw some in my conspiracy pool and take a look. Yeah, I think I will add Blevins to my conspiracy pool.
Ah, planning ahead.
Yeah, so we're gonna go 7 on conspiracy pool, and we're gonna do 2 for 7 for 12. My RP pool. Yeah, well, I thought you were talking about my cell phone that I'm using as my resource and conspiracy pool tracker. Another adaptation here, getting rid of the beads. Let's bring ourselves into the 21st century, I guess.
I think I like the tactile with the tokens, but
I do too.
And with
But
the
we're
cell phone, I'm always afraid I'm gonna like bump it too many times or it's gonna do something weird. Just old man technology phobia or something. I don't know.
All right, so let's see. I'm going to draw 2 cards. And then I'll pass over to you to buy and sell.
All right. Let's see what we got. All right, I'm going to dump Emily Sim for 3. And I'm going to buy 3. Oh, make it 2. Buy 2.
Alrighty.
And 2. And back to you.
Let me just do some mathy things here. Okay, so I don't have any requisition. No cell phone. Sorry, Jonathan. No healing.
Not this early.
No. Deployment. I think we are going to send everybody up to the field for this turn. And then we'll go into case assignment. I'm going to play 2 sites, I think. Wait, I'm going to need to reconsider this. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work. That's okay. So it's going to be one site. One site, I'm going to pay 2 to play Striker's Cove. This is a evidence collection 4+ and affiliation question. And before you place any bluffs on that, I'm going to pay 1, and I'm going to play No Secrets here. Place this card on a site during the case assignment phase before bluffs have been assigned. The directed player must play all cards face up. Excuse me, face up at this site.
Okay.
Gotta love those
We'll play a
Gideon praise cards.
On that site, your one site has a bluff, and you're going to see a security checkpoint that you have to get through to investigate this site.
So what does that do?
Oh, let's see. It prevents all agents contributing their skills to the site except agents with a subterfuge skill value of 1+.
Oh. Okay. 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 Well, I think that's okay. I'm heavy on subterfuge, so we're gonna send them all. So I have, in terms of subterfuge, Colton does not have any evidence collection, and he doesn't have any subterfuge, so he's kind of irrelevant. But
Right.
Everyone else has evidence collection, 2 each on Krychek and Skinner, 1 on Blevins, and they all have at least 1 subterfuge skill.
All right. We're going to now with this this bluff, it's because of this card, you can see if do I still have the option to pay for it or not.
Yes. So I think everything works as normal, except it's just the card is face up instead of face down. So when I go
Okay.
investigate the site, you have the option.
Do I still get my my conspiracy point discount?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Because normally cards played first down would
I
get
would-
a discount. The cards played face up
Yeah.
would not be eligible for the discount. And since this is a card I normally would have played face down, but was required to play face up because of the card you played, does that mean I have to pay full cost to use that card?
That's a great question. And
We'll ask
let's
our
bring
fearless leader
yeah.
to
I
weigh
mean, my
in.
gut would say no. My gut would say no because you played it face up. So I don't think you would get
Yeah,
that
that's what I'm
discount,
thinking too. If I was going to do my LG,
Yeah.
you face down
Yeah,
isn't allowed.
I'm gonna have to say since
No
the
face
act
down
of
discount for
playing it
me.
face down it means it would not qualify for that that discount. I mean, unless someone wants to argue that the act of
While you guys
placing
are doing that,
site
I'm going to
from
try to
case
fix my internet.
assignment would cut, but I would say putting it face down, right?
Well, so in this case, Stephen, I think you can do whatever you want with it, but I think we should probably add that to the card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
That
I was just
explains
reading
what-
exactly what it says about bluff cards played beneath a site may be purchased for 1 CP less than the bluff card stated cost. Well, no, actually, I mean, well, okay, so cards with the keyword bluff may be placed face down beneath the site during the case assignment phase by any player except the investigating player. Bluff cards played beneath a site may be purchased for 1 CP less than the bluff card stated cost. So yeah, and he did put it down during the case assignment phase. So, but I think you're right. Maybe what it is worth doing is just stating that on the card, whether we think it would apply one way or the other. This way, it clears up any of that uncertainty when this card comes up. And
you could just say,
"Yep."
Oh, you could just say something like, "The directed player must play all cards face up at this site with no discounted bluffs," or something. We can tinker with the wording, but you could just add a little clause at the end of that.
Yes, I think just adding the clause will be the easiest way to go. Path of least resistance. So let me just make a note on there. Great question, John. Thank you for raising that. We have seen this card played a couple of times, I think by yourself included. So yes, this is a good question to bring up at this point in time. And there's a little bit of space if you're looking at the card. We got like a couple of lines that where we should hopefully be able to tuck in that added clause to the card, so it shouldn't be an issue. I'll tinker at the text and while I'm backstage here, and if I have a suggestion, I'll let you guys weigh in on it at the end of the matchup. Good stuff.
All right. So I am paying for that card.
Interesting.
And pay for another one.
Okay. I figured you had some combo platter here.
Yeah. Now, the timing's probably off on this one. This is another like case assignment phase, and we're out of the case assignment phase now, aren't we?
Yes.
Because you've declared your intention to investigate this site, or are you still?
I've sent all my agents there, and we've started resolving bluffs. But
yeah,
if you want to backtrack to case assignment, the only caveat is you'd have to play it face up. So we could rewind. We would have to rewind and decide if I wanted to send all my agents there again. You know what I mean?
Well, I had a handy distrust in hand. I wanted to play until I got distracted by the whole security checkpoint thing face up. And the distrust is typically limited to the case assignment phase. So it should have played before you actually decided to investigate that site. So I don't think I can play it now.
So do you want to rewind or do you want to go?
We'll push on. I'm sure that distrust will come in handy.
I don't remember what distrust does. So. But that's fine. Just hold on.
It keeps two of your agents from working together. And my plan had been to keep Blevins and 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 from working together on this site.
Oh, you do want to do Skinner and 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬.
Yeah, Skinner and that's right.
Yeah. So okay.
So that's how that would have rolled.
All right. So right now, it's a 4+ check. I have 5 evidence collection at the site.
Right, and I did not play the distrust in time, so you get to roll right over that.
All right. So it is a affiliation question, and let's go. I'm feeling punchy. Let's go government. Is your affiliation government?
Let me just find a fresh sheet here. Sorry. It is not.
All right. No John Barnett. No reverse engineers. Dwayne Barry, you're out. CSM, you're out. Steroid program. Okay. Now, statistically, that is not the smart play, but
well, you know me,
yeah,
I play the odds.
Yeah, exactly. So, and a lot of people are. So I like to mix it up a little every now and then. All right, and then, well, we're still in my turn here before we go to debrief. I'm going to drop a Oh, we'll drop let's see. Pay 3 to drop a 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 on.
Oh, nice.
Who do we want to put this on? Probably someone with a pretty good amount of health, because it's gone if the health is reduced to 0. So we'll do he's close range. Actually, we'll do Krychek. Get a 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 on Krychek. And I'd like to do that. I'll explain my strategy. I'd like to do that after the investigation, just because we know there are some adversaries that trigger on witnesses here. So that deprives John of an opportunity to play an adversary on me that site. And with that, I have 7 cards in hand. This goes bye-bye. And I'll pass it over to you, John.
Okay. I will draw a card. Start my turn. I only collect a measly 5 resources compared to your 9. But that's okay. That's all right. I don't mind giving you, a few par here. So I got my 5. Right. I think I'm going to buy 2 cards. And back to you.
All right, I'm going to sell 1 card. It's John Ramirez, the Orchard Man. It's going to give me an extra 2, and I'm just going to use that to draw cards. All good.
Hey, let's get some sights down. First of all, case assignment. Everybody's going into the field, as you might expect. Pay no attention to the interloper.
Some sort of creature from the Black Lagoon here.
All right. This is Scout. Yeah.
Hey, Scout.
Go ahead.
So remind me of your agent team again. It's
Yes, we have
Harwell, Scully.
Dana Scully, who is famous. Then we have Lucius Hartwell, a season 5 guy who gets a bonus to his sciences and behavioral if he's hanging out with Scully. We have John Kresge, who gets a +1 to his sciences and evidence collection if he's hanging out with Scully. And Holly Patton, who is just along for the ride, but has some interesting skills of her own in computer bureaucracy. And she can get a discount on purchase of government equipment cards.
Okay, cool.
You run low cards, cat. Okay. Sites. We'll put 2 sites out there. A New Jersey for 2. That's the evidence collection method site. It's been around for a long time. And the University of Maryland at Baltimore, which is a criminal investigation result. That's also 2. I'm going to put 2 in. All right. So we've got Newark and University of Maryland at Baltimore, where my wife graduated from.
All right. Just look at. So it's a criminal investigation and an evidence collection, right?
Yeah.
And you're pretty stacked up in all
Yeah,
those.
these guys can go either way. They've got like a total of like 8 criminal and no, actually 6 or 7 criminal and 6 or 7 or 8. The exact number. Sorry, instead of rambling.
Okay, I have no bluffs.
For either site.
Not doing any.
Oh, bummer. I was hoping you'd tie a site up so I could keep it next turn.
Yeah, I kind of thought you might be angling for that. So
Yeah, you're gonna force me to put up the teams if I want to keep both sites. Oh yeah, I see how it is.
There's a fair amount of strategy in the X-Files game that I think goes unappreciated. The whole bluff thing is a lot of fun.
Well, in this case, everybody's going to go for criminal investigation on the University of Maryland site.
Okay. So they're all investigating.
They're all up there. They're all heading in.
And I think you have what, 7?
Rolling.
You said
2, 4, 6, at least 6. Let me make sure there's no bonuses on that one. No. So total is 6.
Can you tell me everybody's health?
Sure. Holly Patton is the weakest link. She has 3. The guys have 5 apiece, and Scully has 4.
Ooh. Yeah. All right. Get your question off.
All right. Let's see. Is your result let's assume for a moment you didn't go with the obvious choice. And we'll say, is your result manipulation?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Come on, John. This is supposed to be a play test. We're supposed to see cards today.
The lucky guess is a lucky guess. They can happen even under the dire circumstances.
You have failed me, playmat.
It's
Good
weird.
guess.
It kind of popped into my head. I'm thinking, maybe there's a connection here. Wow, did we just wipe out all of those guys? Okay.
Yeah, I think there are only, what, 7 or 8 left for you. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At least 7.
David, you picked a hell of a moment to pop in. Did I miss anything? With one question, John has me down to. Is it 7 or 8? 7?
I got 7. Maybe I missed
Okay.
one. See if my pencil got crazy.
My result is manipulation of evidence. So
yeah, I only see 7 of those.
All right.
It's like insanity almost. I didn't realize it was quite so rare.
Yeah, you may be catching me in. And I have 8 cards. Oh, is it? Well, is there anything else you want to do before we go?
Let me take a look here.
Yeah.
I also have 8 cards. Discard my sites. I didn't play anything. Oh, I know what I wanted to play. Where is it here? Before my team moves away, they're going to celebrate with a interagency luncheon.
Nice.
And they're going to go out and celebrate with one of those. It costs me 1. It's an event. And I get to pick up a bonus 5 tokens for my resource pool. Pretty cool little card.
You need what? An independent and an FBI?
Yeah, independent and FBI.
Yeah.
And
yep.
We've got that.
I think Hartwell is an independent.
Yeah,
right?
both Presage and Hartwell are independents.
That'll work.
That is very cool.
All right, so I have to discard a card. I'm gonna. Oh, you might be playing stuff yet.
I think I'm down to 7 now, so I should be okay for the next turn.
All right, I'm gonna discard a explosion, and then I've got 7 cards. Yeah. Well, it would help if I actually had conspiracy cards in my hand, so then I might be able to do something. All right, so I will draw for the turn. We'll generate res, and now they're all out of the bureau, but we get an extra bonus from cry checks. We got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coming in. You put me at 11 res, and we got kind of shelled there, so let's draw.
Oh, I know what I need to do before you do anything else. Before you do anything else, I got a card I have to play. At the start of your opponent's briefing phase, opposing agents in the field section of the table generate no res this turn.
Oh,
it's going to cost me 3.
All right, so I'm going to go back down to 4. 4 and no res.
I'm sorry, I need to do that. Should play at the end of my turn.
All right. Well, that changes things a little. So I will not be drawing a card. I'll pass it over to you to buy and sell.
All right. I do need something in my pool there to slow you down, so I have to sell something. I had hoped to play Dr. Mann, but in this case, I'm going to can him for 4 resources, or 4 conspiracy.
Sure.
And I also had, the other one was Welcome to Hackland, which is good for 2. That gives me a total resource pool of 7.
CP pool, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I said that wrong, didn't I? And then I'm going to buy 3 cards.
Okay. Sounds good. So no healing, no requisition, deployment. Do we want to leave everybody out here? Yeah, I think we'll leave everybody out there. How many more blights could you possibly have in your deck?
I have no more in this hand, I promise.
All right, fair. So I'm going to burn a Tom Colton token. He's going to use his bureaucracy art Skurs rental house in Caledonia, Wisconsin. It's a bureaucracy 5+ or subterfuge 5+ site and an affiliation or result question.
Yeah, I don't think I'm familiar with that site. Is that on the new set?
It is. Yep.
He's out there. It is your case assignment phase, right? And what is that guy looking for again? Evidence. The card itself, Nathan, I'm sorry. your site card that you put into play.
What is it?
Yeah, again, I'm sorry.
Is that what you're asking?
Yes, please.
Sure. It's bureaucracy or subterfuge 5+, and affiliation or result question.
Oh, that's evil. You're planning on my distrust. Either way, baby, he's got it. I'm going to play it anyway since I thought about it here. You're going to see a distrust. I'm paying for it. It's 2. And we're going to say that Skinner and 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 can't work together.
Well, let's think this out. So, in terms of...
I'm going to put a bluff on that site too, by the way. Yeah. There's a face-down bluff for you to think about.
Okay. So you are targeting. So you're saying Skinner and 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 cannot
work
each
together.
Contribute to the... Okay. So that's going to be important when I pick the skill here.
Yeah, it's going to force you to pick bureaucracy.
That's right. That's right.
And then you'd make it handily anyway.
Yeah.
Unless
that magic bluff.
And let me see if I have another. Your other Skinner can almost do this one by himself, right? He's got 3 or 4 bureaucracy.
He's got so bureaucracy. Colton has 1. Blevins has 3. Skinner has 4.
Oh, and you needed 5.
That's right.
All right, so we're going to also say that Skinner and Blevins can't contribute their skills to the same site. There's just distrust all around.
So 2 distrusts. Okay. Can we do 2 events in the same event?
Well,
I know you can't do like witnesses or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you can have the same card.
They resolve independently.
But the effect is, well, I mean, the effect is still in play for the rest of the phase, though. So there's the question of, like, because it's, the card isn't really, like, is the card resolved when the effect is no longer active? That's a general question, not limited to this set.
Right,
you know.
right.
Well,
I think
the card
I think it might be okay.
It does its thing and it goes away, right? It says may not contribute to any of the same skill checks. So distrust is out there. Skinner and 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 don't distrust each other. And now I played another distrust, and now Skinner and Blevins don't distrust each other. And the question is, gee, he just played 2 cards back to back, but are they actually in play at the exact same time?
That's the question.
In this case, they're 2 separate events.
I mean, we have let people like play like 2 nasty surprises, basically like one on top of one another. But granted, that's when we're doing the reveal one at a time, which is actually not condoned by the manual. Like I said, it's not unique to this expansion. This is something that just generally, I mean, with any of the commercially released cards we've played, where the same exact card comes up pretty much on top of one another. And now the question is, I know you
can't cards play at the same time. And I guess the question is, because they're events, when do they resolve then? Is what Nathan was getting at. Because they're technically, the first one is still in effect.
Yeah.
Does that mean the second one? Or the fact that they're events, they've been played and they've targeted separate things, does that mean that they can indeed be played?
Now the thing, yeah, and I know with like things like with cards that stay in play, like um, you can have like two pieces of the same equipment issued to different agents, but like you can only apply
use
one of them to. You can only apply, yeah, you can only use one. But that's of course, yeah, those are like sort of in the same vein as
But
like
events, because they're so transitory by their nature,
yeah,
is kind of a different category. It's not like having the two of the same agent on the same side at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I've seen like two laser barriers come up, and if they're on the same site at the same time, you can only play the one. But
I can't recall offhand, but I'm sure. Yeah, I've probably seen that somewhere, maybe in a tournament, because laser barrier was the most commonly used bluff in the tournament, easily.
Yeah, I'm good with. Let's just. You can do them both.
You good with it? Yeah,
Yeah,
do them both.
it'd be
All right, cool.
interesting. Okay, so but what does this mean from a practical standpoint? So Krychek and Skinner was the first distrust. Who
you
was
should
the
be able to
second?
still get your bureaucracy off with Skinner and the little guy on the end there. Colton.
So who? Okay, so who did you target with the second distrust?
Skinner and Blevins.
Skinner and Blevins.
So that leaves Skinner and Colt. Skinner and Coulter can still work together.
Yes.
Which should allow you to still get your bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Because they total up to 5, I think.
That's right.
And then you got to decide if you're going to have those two guys take on this bluff and continue on.
Well, you have no CP, so we're going.
Pay no attention. I got a pile here.
So
just not on the team.
I'm sending. We're going. Everybody's going. And so with those,
all right, I'll reveal my bluff.
Yeah,
my bluff is the BATF refuses to play ball. If you had any independent agents, which you don't, then it would matter. And if I had conspiracy points, it would matter, but I don't. So your guys are all FBI guys. So this was a wasted CP card for this deck, but I didn't know that. All right, you're good. After all that.
Okay. So I am going to choose to ask a affiliation question again. Okay. And let's knock Primordial off. Is your X-Files affiliation Primordial?
Yeah, let's knock that one off. It is not Primordial.
Okay. Volcanic Spores, The Swarm, Jersey Devil. A lot of good episodes that are off the list. Okay. And anything else I want to play before the end of the turn? Let's see. You know, there is. Yeah, no kidding, Stephen. Actually, you have no idea. I'm going to pay 3. And I'm going to play an event, bargaining chip.
Ooh. I have to remind me on that one.
Yeah, so I'm going to attach this card to a neutral agent, which I think everybody... Nope, Colton is not. But attach this card to a neutral agent. While the agent is involved in a site skill check, opposing players may not play any keyword alien or government cards, except cards that would negate this card. This card remains in play until your opponent moves 5 CP to your RP pool.
That ain't happening, man.
Well, depends how bad you want to stymie my investigation, I guess. So this is going on a neutral agent. We will put this one on Skinner.
And it basically blocks any alien or government adversaries. Is that what it's saying?
Alien or government card. Yeah,
cards.
not just adversaries, cards. So that could be an important distinction there.
Could be.
Yeah, and then so that's my thing. And I have 6 cards.
I am down to just 4. I'm going to make a quick run here, and I'll be right back.
You bet. Well, he does that. I'll give everyone a sneak preview of my hand here. I really want that affiliation answer because I can't choose it outside. If I could get that yes answer, Stephen, I would be looking good. I also have a card in my hand that, security checkpoint. So I'm just going to look up whether any of his agents have a subterfuge skill. Well, I'm guessing they probably don't. Well, Hartwell might, if he's in keeping with the theme of the episode. Yeah, he has 2. Hartwell has 2. I don't think Scully has subterfuge though, so that's fine.
Yeah, I hope you don't have to wind up pitching that one for CP when you're in a pinch.
Nope, I should be able to do. Well,
I mean, at this point, Krychek and Blevins are not in the bureau, so Blevins is not going to be able. Well, Krychek can still contribute to the pool. Blevins cannot, as of this point.
Right.
But you got 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 on Krychek, which means even that extra res that 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 is generating can theoretically be applied to the conspiracy pool. So that kind of makes up a little bit for Blevins not being able to contribute should you need it. Anyway, just chalking strategy, John. Now that you're back, I'm going to head to the back.
That's all right. Coaching him while I'm gone. He's not on the ropes.
All right. So are you ready to begin your briefing phase, John?
Yes, I'm drawing my card.
Oh, hold up. We're going to blight.
Blight me.
So I will play this at the
Blight
start
me,
of
I
your
say.
briefing.
Blight me.
Yeah, blight me. Play this at the start of your briefing phase. Opposing agents in the field generate no res this turn. And I'll pay my 3.
All right. A little bit of evilness
blighted.
There. I have been blighted for sure.
Well, you made up with it with the interagency lunch, so
yeah, that was.
I'm not
that
sure
was
that's
nice.
going to hinder you too much.
I love that card. All right. So no resource pool for me. No healing yet, thankfully. Nothing to requisition. It is. And no crazy events I want to play just yet. Let me just make sure. Yeah. You don't have any conspiracy resource cards out there, do you? Is that card on Blevins a resource?
Blevins doesn't have one. I have these are both active cards. I have a 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 on Krychek and a bargaining chip on Skinner. Neither of those are CP cards.
All right. Never mind. Proceed, my friend.
Okay, so you bought the cards you wanted?
No, sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Sitting here spinning my wheels. Rushing myself out, talking myself out of my turn. I'll buy 3 cards. Now you can go.
Okay. All right, I'm going to discard 2 cards: Deep Cover Assignment and Dan Costa for a total of 7.
Nice.
Put me at 11, and I'm going to draw 3. All right. And pass it back to you.
All right, let's go investigate. All right, on a Franklin, PA. 2. That goes criminal investigation, and I get to ask a method question.
Okay.
And let's see if there's one over here. Yes, Vancouver, British Columbia, also for 2. It's a bureaucracy and also a method question.
All right. So a bureaucracy and a criminal investigation, right? 2 sites.
Correct. And technically, I have enough for this one, and these guys operate separately. Not saying they have to, but we've got a total of 4 bureaucracy over here and 4 criminal over here. So I can theoretically investigate both if I choose to.
And what are the questions? There was a method on the.
They're
criminal
both method
investigation.
questions.
So they're both method. Okay.
So if you have more than one method adversary, you're in good shape. No.
No bluffs.
No bluffs.
Let's see what you do.
Yeah, you're not going to fall for you. Okay. Let's see.
One RP. So you've kind of got what you've got at this point.
Mm-hmm. Do I want to risk it? Let's risk it. We'll send these guys here, what happens.
Sure.
For the Franklin, PA site, I've got a total of criminal investigation 4.
And who do you have at that site right now?
That's Scully and Hartwell. So they currently have the skills they need to successfully investigate.
And what's each of their criminal investigation?
2 each.
Two each. Okay, and so you've got Christian Patton at the other site.
Yeah, they're a little weaker. But they do have the bureaucracy chops to successfully investigate that site. They're both bureaucracy too. Unless I misread the card. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to let you have your Pennsylvania site.
All right. Ta-da! One method coming up. Sorry, I should have done this better.
I'm just waiting to hear my fate.
All right.
Lay it on me.
Was your method threats?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Should take us down to about 3.
Oof.
Maybe. If I did this right. You're gone. You're gone.
Now the question is, do you guess or not?
Well, since this is a playtest game, the answer will be no. It'll mean we play this to the bitter end. No, get out of jail.
Well, and so here was my strategy on this site. I couldn't stop you at both of them, so I decided to, since they're both method, let you have the first one. And
Right.
now the second site doesn't really matter so much anymore.
Correct. It really doesn't.
So I can kind of hang loose. So no identity guess then, John?
No.
Is that where you're
I'm not
going? Okay.
not going to do that. Just play it safe, play it out. Are you going to bother defending Vancouver, British Columbia with any of your cards?
You know, I don't think I am. I'll give you that question too, and you can do an identity on this one if you want.
Aye, aye, aye. And if I guess incorrectly,
Then I get the roll back over here with the method question.
Yeah, no, I'll walk away from that temptation.
Okay.
Run out of cards and resources.
Yeah. The playmat, the deck sleeves, it's all out the window, John. We're gonna have to completely rework some things here.
Hey, I remember the Urza's Tower. And
yeah, there we go. Good.
And at one time, if you had the mine, the tower,
that's right.
And the other thing, you got like some sort of bonus on your resource points on your mana for buying artifacts. You had to have all 3 though.
So you got to have all 3 in play.
Incorporate like all those artifact generating cards with the different designs, because you had like 4 different artworks to choose from. So it's for extra coolness, you had to have your 4 mana sources using different illustrations for the power plant, different illustrations for the tower, and a different illustration for the mines. It was fun. I don't think I ever pulled it off, though. But you also had to have your mission. You also had to have your missions factories in that deck for extra land madness.
Oh man. Walk down nostalgia lane there.
Yeah, sorry. All right. But we're playing X-Files.
We are playing X-Files, yeah.
I think it's
in my case playing it poorly, so
I don't have any more interagency blood up my sleeve. So I think it's going to be your turn with not
All
many
right.
obstacles in your future.
Well, and I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that there's going to be no blight. So I will draw my card for the turn.
It's a blight-free turn, as I promised.
All right. Excellent. And we'll generate some res now. So it's going to be 2, 3. Yeah, they're all going into the RP pool. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'll put me at 8. And I think we need to draw some cards here. You get your token back, Colton. How many cards do I want to draw? What do you think? I think I should draw 3.
Draw them all.
3 sounds like a good number. And I'll pass to you to buy and sell. 2.
All right, I got to get rid of some stuff. All right, let's go get some cards. I'm going to sell off my FCC button, which would have been free to play on Holly, but it's good for 2. Got a Philadelphia, PA, Broad Street address for 2, Icy Cape, Alaska for 2, and no, changed my mind on that one. So that was just a total of 6. 6. And I will buy 1 card. Darn.
All right. Would you believe that in all those cards, not one sight?
It's sad when that happens.
I am pretty bummed about it. So we're gonna go right to debriefing. Can I have Stephen pop in here? And Stephen, can you tell me what we settled on mummified corpse doing?
Yes, and quite a bit actually. We've pretty much revamped that entire card.
Yeah.
I think. Let me just pull it up here, or at least I've rewritten the entire effect just to make sure that it's foolproof. As it happens, the mummified corpses effect is going to be play this card on an agent at this site to inflict 1 point of damage each time your opponent uses anything other than their resource pool to pay for cards. This card is removed when your opponent identifies one of your X-Files characteristics. And I'm adding the keyword resource to it as well.
Okay, now I'm confused. Can you read her back one more time, Steve?
Sure, and you were the one who I think brought this.
Right, I raised a question on that. Like, this card is like golden here if you read it a certain way.
Play this card on an agent at this site to inflict 1 point of damage each time your opponent uses anything other than their resource pool to pay for cards. As in, uses, like, say, Colton's resource point to pay for a card. Right. That'd be an example of it. Or uses one of the expenditure cards that are part of this set to pay for cards. So anything other than the resource pool being used to pay for cards is going to inflict a point of damage on the agent who this card is attached.
Okay. And I asked that because this is going to be one of the cards I'm discarding. Yeah. And I need to discard quite a few here. So I need to discard 2 more on top of that. The Saboteur.
Yeah, I would say
seems
of all the
like
cards we've
a lot of
had to
hoops to jump
revise,
through.
out of all the cards
What
we've
was
had to
that?
revise in this expansion, this is the most heavily altered one. It's pretty much been revamped, which was good because the intent is there, but it basically the infect as it previously was. I was reading off you guys. It doesn't sound anything like it currently is on there, right?
Correct. It's
Yeah.
I mean, the main difference is the point of damage versus can't use it to pay for things at all. So
Yeah.
that's a pretty big change.
Yep.
3, 4, and I need to discard 1 more.
By the way, since it's not a tournament, it's okay for me to ask John, how many do you have Nathan narrowed down to? What is it, 3 at this point? Or is it less?
Yes.
3?
Yes, there are 3 cards that have threats and manipulation as characteristics. The cigarette smoking man, Dr. Banton in his shadow, and where's the other one? 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, the poltergeist. So folks at home can start laying their bets, provided I
Yeah.
put it on stage.
Yeah, Nathan, it's not looking good, but hey,
No.
the game's
He's
not over. It's the
amazing
fat
to
lady
pull
thing,
something out of
so you are not out of it yet.
nowhere.
Yeah, and Steven, you told me there was a good chance it was going to go, and Skinner chooses a side as a card. I really can't afford to sit on at this point. So
Yeah, I feel like I jinxed it there, so I do apologize for throwing some bad juju your way.
yeah, okay, I'm at 7, so we're golden.
All right. Is it my turn to play?
It is your turn to play.
What's that?
It absolutely is your turn to play.
All right.
Your briefing.
I will draw my card. Okay. I will collect my resources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total of 6. I will buy 2 cards. Maybe 3. Let's see. Yeah, I need 3 more cards. Yeah. 2, 3. Over to you.
All right, I'm going to sell Urov, Koltov, Star of Russia for 4. I'm going to sell Erlenmeyer Flask for 4. That'll put me at 16. And I think I'm going to need to buy. I'll buy 4. And then pass it over to you.
I didn't do the math not quite right. That happens. What's math? I really want to. Okay. Let's figure out your mode of next.
I mean, if you figure out 1 more, it's pretty much over. Basically, it's all hands on deck. Just stop John from getting a question off at this point.
Well, we were going to give you an extra shot at me here. We're going to go to the Polidori residence in rural Indiana. I'm going to pay the 1. And it's sciences 5 or subterfuge 5. And I can ask you 1 motive or resolve question.
So just that site?
I'm sorry.
Is it just the one site this turn?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Now's your chance to play that distrust.
No, let's throw a bluff on that guy.
All right. Yeah, I had more resources. They're all investigating that site. And bluff be damned.
All right. Not even going to scully it. All right, I like it. Bold maneuver. It is not a good card for you. This is the Mad Scientist. You can play this card to gain one of the following effects. I think we might want to change that to say this card, well, to play this card to gain one of the following effects. So this is just a mode. So you pick the mode. You can change the site prerequisite to Sciences 3+. You can negate 1 keyword Sciences card, or you can increase the cost of all RP cards played at this site by 2. I think you know which one I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose to negate the keyword Sciences card, which is the site. I will pay 5 for that.
All right. I was distracted by Steven's chat and trying to get into it, but I couldn't jump into his chat. So you'll have to repeat your selection on that one.
Sure. So my selection is going to be the second mode to negate 1 keyword Sciences card, and I'm going to choose to negate the site.
Well, that's kind of evil.
It is a mad scientist
sounds
play.
like something a mad scientist would do. We're going to make it all go away.
Yeah. I've been hanging on that one, just waiting for you to pull out that Sciences card.
Well, I had a potential solution earlier, but I didn't have the
I figured.
resources.
Well, I was expecting you to Scully it and then pay 2 to Langley it, but
yeah, I keep forgetting how Scully works. I've never played with her before, so I should probably put some tokens on her to remind myself.
yeah.
And yeah, I don't think the other guys get any tokens, but that'll help remind me that she can help me.
She can peek at bluffs. Yeah, pretty useful.
And she is quite nice in conjunction with Langley. This was probably some of their original intent.
All right, so I have. Well, if you are you going to play anything else before the end of before we go to debrief?
See if I have any tricks up my sleeve, so to speak. And nothing that I can afford. So I have 7 cards.
And I have 8. And of course, every single one of the 4 cards I just drew was a site card. So discard a site now.
Coming up for you.
There we go. Hanging on, hanging on.
You are.
All right. All right. And I'll go to my my briefing phase. I'll draw my freebie. Oh, that's an interesting card. Generate res. It's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do I want to put cry checks in CP? No. Nope. This is all going in RP. Oops. So we're going to go up to 12. And I think I'll buy. Let's pick up pick up 2 cards, and then pass to you.
Sorry about that. You're all set?
Yeah, it's your turn to buy and sell.
All right. So let's see here. Yeah, this is a card I was going to play last time. It didn't, so I'm just going to discard it now. Lies with lies. Good for 3. Colonel Captain Jack Von Saint is good for 1. Total 4. And try to keep that one. So 4. I will buy two cards, I think. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'll have to go with that.
All right.
Cards. All right.
So 7 CP in your pool, and how many cards in your hand?
7.
Okay.
No, you're not going to play that, are you?
Lucky 7s.
Spend 3 for each one you want to keep. No, that's the other guy.
No, I've just got some choices this turn.
Me too.
I don't know if they're good choices or not, but I mean I need to catch up. I got to ask questions. So that's the name of the game here. All right, and so no healing, no requisition, deployment. I'm actually going to move Blevins back to the bureau. Blevins back to the bureau. And then in case assignment, I'm going to play 2. We're going to Skyland Mountain, which is a subterfuge 4+ and method site.
That's it, huh?
That's what I got.
All right. We'll put 2 bluffs on that puppy.
2
for extra
bluffs.
discouragement.
It's not enough discouragement, John. It's not enough discouragement. I'm going to send Krychek, Skinner, and Colton together. They are looking at a subterfuge of 7 on a 4+ check. So let's have at her with some bluffs.
All right. We've got everybody's favorite is armed robbery. If no agents at this site have a keyword weapon card equipped, you may take up to 3 from your opponent's resource pool and add them to your conspiracy pool.
That'll work.
So I get to add 3 to my conspiracy pool.
And
Cost
that's
0 to do so.
Okay. Are you taking all 3?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Sounds
Natural.
good. So you got some more conspiracy to work with there. That's that doesn't happen to be a government card, does it?
No, they're definitely criminals. Now, if it was the IRS, it would be criminal and government probably. But since it's just regular armed robbery, they're criminals.
All right, fair enough.
Valid card.
Play.
I didn't check for government. It might be. The next bluff you'll be saved from is checkmate. It is a government card, a government conspiracy card. And you have a solution.
Take it you're not going to pay for that one then.
Well, not if you have a solution ready-made to prevent it.
Well, you can.
Doesn't your card say I can't play it?
That's right.
I don't want to pay for it if I can't play it.
That's right.
So it's going to go away.
That's right.
And what were your questions on that site? Which were your 2 topics?
It's just one. This is a subterfuge site and method question.
Method question.
Yeah.
Can you cope with a null with a vampire?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question.
3, 4, 5, 6. All right.
Did we change him? Remind me what he does again.
He is unaffected by long-range combat attacks. He targets an agent. One opposing agent of your choice is immediately incapacitated, unable to participate in combat until the second round of close-range combat. So I think there have been some talk of like giving him an affiliation keyword rather than simply an agent keyword.
Sure. Well, we'll play him out. Yeah, so he's going to get changed to affiliation, but we can play him out here just to see how this goes.
All right. So the question is, who should he target? And probably, I think Skinner's got the biggest close range.
That's right. He has a close range 3.
Yeah. So he's going to target Skinner.
Okay. So he does not deal close range damage to your adversary?
Correct.
Okay. And so I've got on my other 2 agents a total of 4 close range.
And this guy has health of 6.
Okay.
So he will survive the first round, and Skinner will take 3 in close range.
Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Skinner. He's taking hits.
And in the second combat phase, he will deal an additional 3 to Skinner, and he will be wiped out by your team.
Yep. That is going to be enough to take out Skinner.
Right, Skinner will contribute, but
yeah,
this guy will still get his licks in.
So your vampire's dead. Skinner is in the hospital. But interestingly enough, you didn't deal your damage to 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, which still gives me enough to make the
your subterfuge.
Yeah, which makes me think maybe you got something else coming out here.
Now, for some reason, I thought Skinner had subterfuge as well. I wasn't doing the math well on that one. I didn't see 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 as a threat since his long range was out of the picture. So I kind of like, oh, let me focus on Skinner. He's going to be worse. But yeah,
he would have. Your vampire would have still survived till the second round, because even with Skinner there, I was only dealing 5 in round 1. So yeah, you should have taken out 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, not only because of the subterfuge, but also if his health goes to 0, I lose 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬.
Yeah.
So that would have
miscalculation on my part.
But
I was greedy. I went for your big dog.
Yes,
ignored the bigger tactical implications.
That's okay. I'm okay with it. So the end result here, and actually, well, we're still before we do the skill check. It wouldn't have made a difference anyway. I'm going to pay 3 to play Melissa Turner. So she's going to get. She's like a.
She's an agent light.
Yeah, she's like Matheson, Senator Matheson, only for the subterfuge skill.
Nice.
So she's going to get 3 tokens, and I can pitch a token to add 2 to a subterfuge skill check. I don't need to use it this turn, but I'll put her out there. And then also before I finish the site, nope, I'll do this after I finish the site. All right, so this is going to be a method question. Let's see what I got left here. So method subterfuge. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Possession, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Violence, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Manipulation, 1, 2, 3. All right, so not manipulation. And is that it? No, threats. Threats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 threats. All right, and so subterfuge. Well, I could pick violence too. Violence would knock out quite a bit of the evolutionary. So let's do that. Is your method violence?
Indeed, it is.
Oh, all right. All right, now we're
break for Nathan.
Now we're cooking. Now we got some gas going. Needed that big time. All right, so we have eliminated almost all of our occult X-Files. Poltergeist, Holy Warden. I guess occult X-Files do not enjoy the use of violence as a method. Only the Manitou, which I get. We have not Dr. Banton, not Augustus Cole, not Arthur Grable. So we're probably looking at a evolutionary X-File here. We've got the host left. We've got 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬, central operating system. And only one alien X-File uses violence. That's Brother Martin. Arctic Worm is out. Alien Conservationist is out. .com is out. No Gregors, no alien listeners, no alien experimenters. So pretty safe guesstimate that you are an evolutionary adversary or X-File. And I am not going to be, well, you know my method, although you could take an identity question. Maybe I want to knock out one of those.
Knock out one of the outliers. Is that what your plan is?
What's that?
Knock out one of the outliers. Is that your plan?
Yeah. I mean, so I have one each left in my occult or alien affiliation, and I could take out one of those at the risk of giving you a question, which you would take. You would take, and you have a 1 in 3 shot. And would that bring me any real practical benefit? I'm going to keep my powder dry on that, and I am not going to ask a identity question. And then before I go to debrief, so this is gone, I will play the third man on Section Chief Blevins. So this card attaches to him. If I choose to contribute to the conspiracy pool during my briefing phase, again, all hands on deck to stop you. He is treated as a Res 3 while he is in the Bureau section.
And he has a resource card?
That is a resource card, yeah.
Right.
Its keywords are event, bureaucracy, resource.
And he's conspiracy.
It's not a conspiracy card. It is a RP card. But it allows me to treat him as a Res 3 if I use him to contribute to the conspiracy pool. That's what it does.
Okay, right, because you are the, yeah. Right. Sorry. You're on the blue.
All good.
Never mind.
All good. And poor Skinner stuck in the hospital. So, yeah, that's gonna be my turn.
Okay.
And I have 7 cards in hand.
Yeah, I'm down to like 4. We will draw 1 to make it 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To think of what I have coming up here. I will draw 2 cards. Over to you.
Right. And as much as I love the thematic cards, here's another one that's going. I'm gonna pitch my beautiful combo I wanted to use of Coastal Northwest Oregon and Krychek Possessed.
Oh yeah.
Send Krychek alone, let him fail it, and then let him get taken over by the oil. But instead, I'll generate 6 CP from that.
Yeah, worth it.
And go up to 13, and we're going to draw some cards. We're going to draw. I think we're going to draw 4. Yeah, 4 sounds good. All right, and over to you.
Darn it. Didn't play it that well. All right, we're going to go ahead and go to Virgil and Canto's apartment. It's going to cost me 2 to get there. There's the site I'm going to plan to investigate, but we'll see what you do first.
So that's a computer site, right?
It is Computer 4+ and affiliation.
And I know Patton has 2 computer. Who else has computer on your team?
Let's see, our friend Holly Patton has 2. Cresty has some computer, I think. Yeah, Cresty's good for 2. Patton's good for 2. Yeah, I think that might be it. So they barely make. Unless I have
Well, as long as we're in case assignment yet, I'm going to play Distrust on those 2 agents.
Good plan. And if they can't work together, this investigation will fizzle. Let's see, in your distrust card, what are his activators again? Sorry.
Just conspiracy for an activator. The keywords on it are event, government, and bureaucracy.
Oh, so it does count. So government. Okay. I got nothing. Keep you from doing that, I don't believe. Nope. Done. I don't think I can. Oh, wait. No. Yeah, I'm done. Close.
Sounds good. And I'm at 8 cards, so I'm going to need to discard something.
I needed 1 extra RP to make that different. Didn't have it.
Well, I for one am glad you didn't have it. Because we're barely hanging on.
I had a solution in hand, but couldn't afford it.
I think that's 2 turns. Right. I've had you. I've had you stuck at 3 on my X-Files list. So, and I'm going to discard because Skinner is unfortunately indisposed at the moment. I'm going to discard a site. Striker's Cove evidence collection doesn't do me much good right now.
I'm down to 6 cards myself, so feel free to begin when you wish.
Okay. So we'll go to my start of my briefing phase. I'll wait on that blight for a second, but it's not coming. All right, so I'll
no red tape. No, nothing fun here. Such a boring attack profile.
And I mean, just given the state of my RP pool, I think I should probably add Blevins to to RP. Which would put me at 2. Put me at 7. Or do I want to do conspiracy? I better chunk it into the RP pool just to give myself a little buffer.
Yeah, Skinner can't contribute at the moment, I suppose.
Correct. And so we were actually, am I going to buy cards? I am not. I am not going to buy cards, so I'll pass it over to you.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and sell off Digging Up the Past before.
Great card.
Nice card. Who's going to use it? Didn't have quite enough. And I'm also going to dump. Well, no, I should hang on to that one. I may need him. So we'll go ahead and dump my No Secrets here. I have a Scully. That's good for. There's 5. And a little box of sand for 2. So that's total of 7. Conspiracy pool.
It's a pretty good chunk of change.
Yeah. And we'll go ahead and buy 5 cards. And let me see if there's anything here. Oh, your turn.
All right. So healing, and I'm thinking you're sly like a fox and wanted Skinner in the hospital so you could get some alien and government beat down on my team here. But he's going to stay in for another turn, so he heals 2. I can't leave. Requisition, nothing. Deployment, I'm actually going to move Blevins back up into the field. And case assignment, I'm going to burn Colton's token to play a site, Folger Park, Washington, D.C. This is going to be a criminal investigation 5+, or subterfuge 5+, skill check, affiliation or result question.
And you can make it either way on that site, can't you? You got the site.
Yeah, currently I have 5 criminal investigation. I also have 5 subterfuge.
I've got 2+ for you on that site.
2 bluffs. Fortune favors the brave. Let's go. So Colton, Krychek, and Blevins are headed to Folger Park. I will choose subterfuge for the skill check. So again, they're currently at 5, and let's have some bluff fun.
All right. And again, you mentioned criminal investigation and subterfuge. What were the questions you get to ask?
Yes. So the questions are affiliation or result.
Okay. Okay.
Oops, I'm knocking over my deck here.
We've got a mummified corpse.
Okay,
And
so
again, the wording's changed on this thing.
Yeah. So I can. So I believe what that does is I can only. So it attaches to an agent at the site.
Right.
That agent is going to take 1 point of damage every time I use my RP pool to pay for cards. Is that right, Steven? And the next time
completely the opposite, Nathan. It's anytime
Okay.
you use anything other than your resource pool to pay for cards. So using using Colton's resource point as an example, that's gonna inflict a
deal 1 damage to the agent that it's attached to. Okay.
Exactly.
Got it. So would you like to throw that one on one of my agents?
Nah, not gonna bother with him.
Okay.
I have a Roy Khan for you though.
So what is that one?
Increase a site prerequisite by 1 point for each agent without a bureaucracy skill.
So it's going to get +1.
Yeah.
Because 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 does not have bureaucracy.
Correct.
Okay, so that's going to turn it into a subterfuge 6+.
Yep.
And you're paying for that one?
Got him here.
Okay. Sounds good.
Seems like I haven't thought all my dimes and get confused.
Okay, so 6+ would stymie me, but Melissa Turner is going to burn one of her tokens
Plan.
and add +2 to the subterfuge skill check, which puts me now at 7 on a 6+ check.
All right.
So we're still on track to make it.
You still are. And my other option on that site has been foiled. So I am going to. You get a question?
Get a question, and while we're still at the site, I'm actually going to play a card.
You know, if you failed the skill check, you would have had to throw away an active card as another bonus for Roy Khan there. But you made your skill check.
Interesting.
You don't have to do that.
I'm going to play Michelle Bazakis. So attach her to the team. She acts like an agent. She has
she's the one I thought you were playing before. When you played the other one, I'm like, wait, no, that's not quite what I thought.
Oh,
yeah. So, yeah, she's the one I thought you were throwing out.
They do look similar, don't they?
Yeah. I looked at these two.
That's actually.
Oh, yeah, I think I know what that does. Yeah.
That's actually, you know what? Maybe that's something to run by Dax. Because the visual similarity is a thing in card games. If he can,
well, you explain the cards anyway, so it's okay.
I know, but
yeah.
I am a very visual guy. Like if I glance at something and I think,
when you first played the other one, I thought that's who it was.
Yeah. So she can hang out with that team, although she has nothing to do.
She has a little combat and stuff, doesn't she? Like a 1 each.
Yeah, it's 1 each and observation, but this isn't an observation deck, so she's just in there to add the extra combat bump. So I'll play her. And so I'm gonna get the skill check. I'm gonna ask I think the prudent thing to do is probably a result question and try to narrow this down a little more. And so I have
You should be pretty close.
Yeah, actually, I think by asking result, I actually knock out both of those affiliations if I choose death. So if I choose death, I can knock out 4 which seems like the smart thing to do. And now, if the answer is yes, of course, that still leaves me with the affiliations. But I'll do that. Is your result death?
It is not death.
Okay. All right. So we know it's not an alien affiliation. And we know it is not Leonard. I think I got you down to 3 here. And we know it is not the Manitou, and that knocks out occult affiliation. So now I did want a no answer. You're absolutely right, Stephen. So we're at the host, we're at 𝐗, or we're at the central AI operating system. And in the interest of playing this out a little bit, we've got we're each at 3, and I think we're going to leave it there. So,
all right. Well, I think the things have shifted in this game.
Well, we're all tied up now. We're all tied up.
Yeah.
So
you've overcome my initial luck. I have 6 cards left.
I do 2, and I actually think I'm going to use my last 2 RP to play not on the menu and draw 2 cards before the end of my turn, and that'll put me at 7. And I'll send it over to you.
All right. I will draw 1 card to start my turn. I will collect my mighty 5 resource points. Total of 8. I think I'm going to draw at least 2 cards. It's not what I wanted.
Wahaha.
Yeah, wahaha is right.
Well, now that I know your affiliation, I'm going to see if I can draw into a Skinner chooses a side. My second one.
There you go. Yeah, options here.
Or a grid pattern search would work too.
It's over to you.
Okay.
Buy and sell away.
Yeah. So I'm gonna.
I don't think I'm gonna go ahead and do any requisition.
I'm gonna discard 2. Lisa Bouchy. I don't know how to.
I feel like I'm seeing double.
It's like the evil twins.
You went with the girl helper deck in this one.
Yeah, well, we're just playing with witnesses here.
Yeah, My Girl Friday or whatever it was.
So that's a total of 6. That'll put me at 13, and I think I should probably use that to draw some more cards and hopefully stymie your investigation. Let's do. We got 5 cards right now. Let's go get 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Mattawa, Washington is coming out.
That's a remind me again, bureaucracy?
2. And it's a bureaucracy 4+. And I get to ask a result question.
One bluff on there.
Skelly's going to actually use a token. I'm going to use her ability to take a peek.
Yeah. So it's armed robbery.
Oh,
It's not going to stop it, but it's going to give me some bonus CP, I guess.
yeah. Oddly enough, in this scenario, it's enough to scare me off. So I don't need to know your result.
That works.
I didn't have any other sight cards. So
Sure.
it's kind of like, I could have taken a guess, tried an identity question if I was successful, but then you would get to ask me one too, I think. So
That's right. And so we're both playing a game of
so
chicken
I think
here.
I'll let that go away.
Okay.
That part of my turn is over. So everything else I want to actually do.
Wait a second, John. So if Nathan's not, or so Nathan placed the bluff on the site, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Did you discard it?
Oh yeah, that stays in play.
Oh, sorry. You're correct.
Yeah, you just don't send your
It's
agents.
so
around
rare
it.
for me not to investigate a site. I'm like,
You still can.
sure, it's there. It's got the bluff.
You know, if
It's got
you
the armed
go
robbers
for it.
hanging out at the truck stop, waiting for any unsuspecting travelers, and I'm going to avoid them.
John, dude, there's an EBE out there. Okay, you can't just let this go uninvestigated. You got to find that alien.
Yeah. All right. Let me see if there's anything I can do with my.
Or maybe it'll be something like from like Fast and the Furious, where they're like robbing a speeding semi. You know, the armed robbery card.
You know what just occurred to me? We was his name Mannheim, the trucker?
Ranheim. Yep.
Ranheim. We don't have a card for him, do we?
I'd say that would be a job for you, considering you're going to be tackling that first season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. Maybe a bluff card or something.
Yeah, I think so. All right, great. Sorry, this is not only season 5 playtesting. This is brainstorming for season.
I'm going to go ahead and play the Blue Man Goop at the end of my turn. Ride it to Hartwell.
What does that do?
Gives him the ability to gives him a couple of tokens to pay for criminal investigation cards.
Very cool.
Yeah. So he gets a little extra ability there. Help me pay for things since I've run out of cash here. And now it's over to you.
Okay. So that mummified corpse thing, that you did not pay for that, right?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I'll ever use that card again. I don't know if I'll ever grasp fully how it. No, in your case, no, because it's no, I didn't play it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you were to, so like the expenditure card would count for that. So the agent would take 1 damage. I don't know if it's worth it, but just I might play around with that a little bit.
Yeah, I have to. I'm gonna have to see the revised rulings on it, study them, and I have to read it before I can understand them, I think.
Yeah. Okay, and so I have 8 cards, so I need to discard something here. I know your affiliation, so I don't think Cumberland Prison is going to do me much good. So I'm at 7 now.
All right. Go for it. Skinner's going to come out of the hospital soon, isn't he?
He is this turn. So I'm going to draw 1. We're going to generate some res. 2, 5, 6. Going into my pool. Oops, 6. And for card drawing,
You got the bonus. You didn't get the bonus on the other guy because he's out in the field. Is that right?
correct. So I only
Okay.
get the one
All right.
from him. But
Yeah.
but Krychek gives me 3 and Colton gives me 2.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I knew you had plenty. It's just I'm like, maybe he has more than he's getting himself credit for than I realized it. You moved him out of the bureau after he got his.
I think he said it back to the bureau though after this turn, but we'll see. We'll see. So I need to decide if I'm going to buy. And am I going to buy? Am I going to buy? Well, that's an interesting card. I will. I will buy 1 card and pass it to you.
8. And you're done your healing and requisition.
Well, right now it's to you to buy and sell cards.
Okay. All right. So we're going to sell some heavy hitters. Sunflower seeds for 4. Face of the Seraphim for 5.
Oof.
And August Bremer for 5.
Wow.
Total 13.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Well, I gotta try to get. This could be my last hurrah here. Fear my pool.
Cole gets his token back.
And how many cards should I buy? Let's buy a bunch of cards. Let's buy at least 4 cards. Maybe 5.
All right.
5 cards.
And that still leaves you with like 13 in your CP pool, huh?
Something like that.
All right. Well, what can we do? What can we do except power ahead? Healing. Skinner is going to heal 2 damage. He's going to be able to come out now, and he will definitely do so during my deployment phase.
Now he still has at least 1 damage.
He has 1. Yep, he has 1 damage on him right now. Let's see. Case assignment, I'll use Colton's token. And pay 1. to play the University of Maryland, which is a criminal investigation 4+ and result site. And I will also pay 3 to play Lies Within Lies. So show me all the bluff cards in your hand, and if you have 1 or more, discard 1 at random.
Oh, I don't like that. I had a armed robbery of my own I was planning to spring on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the 5 CP meant something to me.
Is that the only bluff you have?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's great. Actually, I've only got one 1 RP, so that's all you could steal from me there. So it wouldn't have really mattered, but what are you gonna do? All right. So no bluffs. And you know, we're just we're going for it. We're going for it. So send everybody. Current criminal investigation skill is 2, 4, 5, 8 on a 4+ check.
Big 8.
Big 8, and you know I've only got one RP, so it's in your hands, John.
And what kind of site is that? What's the activator?
So it's a criminal investigation and result site.
Result. Okay.
So throw your worst at me. We'll see what happens.
Now with adversaries, they're played individually usually, right?
I don't like that question, but yes, they are right. So if you were, I mean, unless you have like overwhelming for dark powers align or whatever that card is that lets 3 of them attack together. Typically they're played, yes, 1, and then you resolve that combat, and then if you want to play another one, you play that one separately. But I kind of feel like I was in for an adversary on this one, at least one. So
yeah. Do you got any guys with computer skills?
Oh boy, that's not a good question for me either. I believe I don't have any computer. 0. Nada. Oh, this is going to be like a, what is it? Ursheim goes viral or something like that.
That's a possibility. So he can still do his attack. He just can't split the damage, or is his damage restricted to people with that skill?
Oh, so on the Ursheim card. So I asked that question too, and I think the damage can only be dealt by an agent. Sorry, the damage can only be dealt to an agent that meets one of those criteria.
Okay, so you'd have to have somebody with a cellular phone like Skinner.
Computer, cell phone, or equipment card, and I don't have an equipment actually. So yeah.
All right, so he wouldn't have an eligible target.
And I think, Stephen, I think we had talked about clarifying that possibly on the card.
Yes, I do have a rewritten text for it, but yes, I don't see any eligible targets for Ursheim in this case. So the revised text is going to be: this adversary only targets agents with either a computer skill, a cellular phone, or an electrical equipment card. Damage from long range
nice.
can be split among multiple opponents. Director player's choice.
Nice.
Okay.
I like that electrical. I like working those in. That's good.
Expanding the coverage coverage of that card as much as possible. Yeah, it's a good rewrite. I can't recall who prompted it. It may have been something like it came up in the course of evaluating my cards that I was like, you know what, maybe we can do better with this one. And because I don't think we haven't seen it as far as I know in playtesting, so it must have been something off camera that prompted the change. But
I think you and Guillaume had talked about that one, and then I asked the same question because I can't read Discord, so and so that was the answer. But that's good. Again, any opportunity to work in like the electrical keywords, which we don't see very often, is a good one.
Mechanical, special, yeah, for sure.
I like that. All right, so no targets for that one, John. But
all right, well, how about we'll bring on the you have a results site there, so we'll bring out the Mighty Men.
Ooh,
5.
I think they can deal some damage if I remember right.
They can do long range combat damage of 4, close range of 2. They have a health of 5. They won't survive the first round with these guys.
No, but you can. So you can basically knock out one of my 3 health agents plus deal another 1 damage, because you can split the long range combat damage of 4.
Yeah.
So Colton has health of 3, Blevins has health of 3, Physicus has health of 3.
And what's Krychek bringing to the table? His health is?
Both Krychek and Skinner are 5s. And Skinner has that 1 damage on him from.
So technically, I could put him back in the hospital if I dump 4 into him.
Oh, yes, you could. Yes, that's right.
It doesn't really affect the investigation per se. It just lets me beat up on Skinner.
He's taking his punches this game. That's for sure. So yeah, there are a few different ways to do this, but I think well, I'll just let you decide what agent you want to smack around.
All right. So the Mighty Men, they're go ahead and put Skinner back in the hospital. They're going to do 4 long range damage.
Sure. And their health is what, 6? You said. What's the Mighty Men's health?
Oh, their health is 5.
Oh, nice. So
Skinner
long range.
I thought Skinner was at 4 health now. That's not correct.
Well, if you deal the 4 damage to he's at 4 health. So if you deal all the damage to him,
if I deal all 4 to him, that puts him back in the hospital, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's how I want to do it.
Okay, so he'll, and I think they're a primordial adversary. Yeah. They're primordial, right?
This guy is primordial.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, you're looking for government, or what was the other one?
Or alien, which I was pretty sure they weren't.
Yeah, I knew he had that card, so I thought I need to kind of, just in case. So,
yep. So that works.
And then, can you do enough damage?
Yeah. So Krychek alone is going to do 4 long range to them.
Right.
So they're going to take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
10 long range.
Well, he doesn't survive for close range.
Nope. But that'll bring my criminal investigation down to 5. So if you can lay some more stuff on me, we might be cooking.
Unless I can somehow give you computer skills. No. There is the Null of the Vampire. He can come back.
Oh, another Null of the Vampire.
Yeah.
Boy, I wish we were doing that affiliation. But this is fine. All right, so he is going to
no long range to worry about. he gets to whack somebody for 3. He has a total 6.
Okay.
So you need 6 close range to take him out in your first round. He's going to go ahead and who's your strong close range guy there?
Well, I have Colton and Krychek both have 2 close range, so
yeah, he'll probably focus on Krychek, I guess.
okay. So how much does he deal in the close range round? Or no, he's incapacitated, right? Krychek is
right. He'll
out.
be Krychek can't defend himself, and this guy's going to do 3 to Krychek.
Okay.
And then he's going to take a point of damage from the other guys, which is like 3, right?
It's going to be 4.
Oh, somebody does. Oh, that's Colton. Yes, right. He has 2.
Yeah.
All right. And then the second round, Krychek can defend himself. The vampire is going to do an additional 3 to Krychek.
Okay, so he's in the hospital too. I'm going to lose 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬.
And then the null's going into the discard pile.
That's right. And now I am going to fail that skill check.
And you probably still have enough to make your fight.
I don't. I only have 3 now, I think.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, so that was a good play. And I've only got 1 RP, which is not enough to do anything. So that is burned. And I have 7 cards in hand.
All right. I am down to 6. So my cash out helped a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
See if I can get back in this.
Well, are you ready to start your briefing phase?
Yep, I'm going to draw my card.
Blight is not going to help you.
You're going to blight me?
I'm going to blight you.
Well, blight you. No, blight me.
blight you. So no agents in the field are going to generate res for you, which is I think going to pretty well put you on lockdown this turn, but we'll see.
Okay. I got having a wardrobe malfunction here on my card. I think I might have tried to stuff too many into a holder, and now it's all split up. Ooh, tried to sneak in two sites and one. Just got jammed together. I think it should have been like that. All right. Okay. So I drew my 1 card, but no resources. That's a bad thing. Let's see. So I guess I want to try to get a motive question in.
So are you going to buy any cards, John?
No, because of my current financial situation, so to speak, I need those to help pay for my site cards.
Sure.
So don't lure me away with spending things like that. Although I still have this guy. I still have the Manuel Washington with the armed robbers waiting for me.
Yes, you do. And so I'm going to discard, since Krychek is out for a few turns, I'm going to discard Krychek Possessed for 4. I'm also going to, I hate to discard a site card, but I'm not going to be making this anytime soon, so I'll discard Icy Cape for a total of 6. Put me at 12, and let's draw. Let's draw 4 cards. Oh, where was that last turn? Jeez. Okay.
All right, now I'm going to go ahead and play my motive site here. We'll go to Loudoun County, Virginia. It's going to cost me 2. It's a computer 4 plus, and I can ask a motive question. They're all in the field still, and they're all going to be going there, but I'll let you have a chance to play a distrust if you want before I get there. Still the case assignment phase. And your bluffs, of course, your fearsome bluffs.
Could you tell me, remind me, that's a motive site you said?
It is.
I'm going to put 1 bluff on there.
And I'm going to use my Scully token to take a peek.
It is a 5-alarm fire.
Oh, that's a nasty one. Go ahead and explain to me what's going to happen to me if I activate that sucker.
Well, nothing when you activate it, but if you should fail the site skill check, you have to discard 1 active card from your hand, and you skip your next briefing phase.
Oh.
So it doesn't make you fail the skill check in and of itself, but if you do, there are big consequences.
Yeah, and there's other things that might have me fail my skill check. Yeah, that's a big gamble. Might not bode well for me. I'm so weak.
You know, what I really like about this card, and I think the brilliance of the design, right, is that you know it's there now, but it really does function like, even though the card does not stop you, it really does make you think twice about investigating it, even if I don't have anything else, you know?
I've been on the bad side of that card, and it really interrupts your game.
Yeah. This is just a great design for a card, I think.
Yeah, and it's a real deterrent as a bluff.
Yeah.
You have to say, how bad do I want it? What are my odds? This was kind of a low odds site for me to begin with. And this is enough to kind of tip me over and say, you know what? I'm going to walk away.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't blame you for that. I think that's because you never know what I'm packing. And then the other thing is, if you go investigate it, maybe I don't even pay for it, you know,
Yeah.
and I throw an adversary down or something.
Right. And my resource pools are pretty depleted here. So my options, as I say, are limited, which is a bad spot to be in. So your earlier card really set me up for that one in a sense.
That's right.
It kind of really kind of put the nail in. So, okay. I have 6 cards left in my hand. Do you have any additional moves you would like to make at the end of your turn? Or at the end of the turn?
I don't know. Do I? Let's see. I do have to discard one, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, I have 7. Nope, that's it. That's it. So, unfortunately, with half my team in the hospital, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do here, but cross that bridge when we get to it. So, okay. So I'll start my briefing, draw, and generate res, which is going to be down to 3. Well, I am not going to buy any cards.
All right, I am going to sell some cards. This is a card I've been hanging on to for a while that I thought I would play, but I'm going to cash it out. Kill switch for 4.
Yeah.
That's one I could have saved me 3 or 4 turns ago if I would have had one more resource point. I'm also going to sell the forward-looking infrared for 3 and Olympic National Forest for 2, total of 9. Sorry. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Total of 11 there. I think that's right.
All right. And buying any with that?
Yes. I think I'm going to pick up at least 3. I need to keep them back for special things. Did you take your turn, or did you do your? I should have said over to you, I guess. Sorry.
Okay.
I didn't do that.
Sounds good. So healing, we're going to get 2 off Skinner. And we're going to get 2 off Cry Check.
While you're doing that, and then planning your next move, I'm going to make a quick trip.
Sure. I don't. There's not much to plan with my current age and allotment here. If I had a bureaucracy 4+, I could probably pull that off, but unfortunately, I don't. And he's got 2, 4, 5. He's got 8 CP waiting to ambush me with a very limited agent team. It's not a recipe for success. Steven, you wanna pop in and we'll chat while he's away, because I think I got my turn kind of planned out here.
Oh yeah, sure. I was trying to download one of the previous recordings because we only have 100 hours on StreamYard for storing these things. So I got to keep downloading these things. If I ever decide I do want to edit some of these episodes, which we'll see, the subscribers haven't been there, so it's like it kind of lowers the motivation for editing them as I have in the past. But hey, maybe one day for posterity. Welcome back, John. And by the way, Nathan, this game really did not look like it was going in your favor, like early on. Like that first hour, it was like, man, you'd have to sell your soul to get a question, and let alone a right one. And now It's very much looking like, it could go either way on this, but it's a very close game at this point. So,
Yeah.
Yes, and over
anyone-
time, skill triumphs over luck.
yeah.
Well, I'm going to be a big pain in the ass. I'll be honest, because I've got my turn kind of planned out here, and I think the best thing I can do with Skinner and Krychek in the hospital is Turtle.
Mhm.
So I'm going to, during deployment, I'm going to move everybody back to the bureau. Obvious. Yeah. Well, I was talking to myself, and I was like, if I had a bureaucracy 4+ site, I would probably go for it, but I don't.
Yeah, the
So,
chicken's a guy who just got scared away by some armed robbers, and yeah, your bluffs were enough to scare me away.
yeah, and I say that you're going to be irritated at me. I know. I'm going to spend my 4 RP this turn on Dr. 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬,
Ah,
and I think you kind of see where this is going. So he's going to get 2 tokens on him. I can burn a token to pull a card back from my discard pile, put it in my hand. I'm going to burn a token and go get back Blight.
evilness.
Yeah, it is. It's an absolute dick move. It's an absolute dick move. But this buys me a turn basically to get.
This is where we are.
Yeah, this is where we are. Buys me a turn to get Skinner and Krychek out of the hospital. So I'm going to pull that back. I'm going to go to debriefing, and I need to discard a card. I'm going to discard xenotransplantation because I don't see any ability to put somebody in the hospital anytime soon for you.
Oh, gee. I have 1, 2, 3, 6 cards currently. I
Okay.
think I will draw 1 to start my turn.
Light. And I'll pay
Light me.
my 3. So that'll effectively deprive you of res.
It will. And without res, I can't buy cards. Without res, I can't pay for sites because I don't have any magic cards here. And that effectively means my turn doesn't go very far.
Well, I will during my buy and sell, I will sell my shotgun for 6. And I'll draw 2. And that'll put me at 7.
All right. And do you have any more plays into the turn you want to make? I have nothing I don't think I can do without resource points.
I've got nothing.
All right. So back to you.
All right. I'll draw my freebie. I get 2 from Blevins now, so it's going to put me at 4 for the turn. And I will not be drawing cards, so I'll pass it over to you to buy and sell.
All right. I will get rid of my method site, Museum of Natural History. And I don't know. Yeah, that's. I'll take those. And I will draw 1, 2. 2 cards. No. Yeah, 2 cards. Come on. Nope. Dang on it. Not what I wanted.
All right, so we're going to heal 2 off Krychek, 2 off Skinner. Requisition. No, not going to do that. No requisition. Deployment. Let's go for the glory. We'll bring Skinner. We'll bring Krychek. And for case assignments, so they still have 1 damage token each on them. And for case assignments, what do we want to do here? I will take 1 off Colton and pay 1 to play there's my Bureaucracy 4+ site. It's Braddock Heights, Maryland, Bureaucracy 4+ motive.
Yeah, that was going to be a stretch. Yeah.
And I'll send it over to you for bluffs.
Yeah, let's see what I got. All right. I am not going to pretend to bluff you.
Okay.
So it's all yours. Come on
All
in.
right.
Water's
So
good.
yeah, so I'll send the whole lot of them to be a team investigating it, and bureaucracy is going to be 1, 4, 8. It's going to be 8. 8 on a 4+ skill check.
Yeah. Taking out 1 will not be enough. So the Prince of Darkness is going to need to work extra hard.
Oh no, he's pretty rough, isn't he?
He's a 6/6/6.
Let me look him up.
And you get to use your subterfuge skill. It's their value and or C and CRC though. And if you don't have any subterfuge skill, get a 1.
Wow. Okay. All right. So that's so basically he's going to take out 1 agent.
Because Krychek's got 4, right?
Krychek has 4, Skinner has 3, and the rest are going to be 1s.
Yeah. So he's going to die.
So he's going to die, but he's going to get to burn out. He's going to get to burn it. And I don't think, now, Stephen, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think I can use Melissa Turner to help me out in any way on this, can I?
No, but there are witnesses in this set who do have the ability to help out in a situation like this. And in fact, you discarded 2 copies of one of those witnesses.
Yeah, I remember that she can help. They say they can help in combat, right? Specifically. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. So I think if it yep, there it is.
Lily?
Lisa Bioki.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, I'll look her up.
So
Because there's a sentence at the end that says, may apply her skills once during combat if applicable. So
Yep. So we haven't seen that play tested yet. There's that one, and there's Bobby Rich, both from the same episode, where they can apply their skills to combat. We haven't seen it play tested yet. I'd like to see that happen at some point. So we just make sure that is mechanically sound. It seems to be by all outward appearances, but sometimes it's just in the thick of the game, and then that's when the questions arise that make it seem not so viable. But
we could see it right now. I mean, I could 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 back, but it wouldn't do anything. I mean, it wouldn't gain anything by it.
Not really, but yeah.
And I'd much rather 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 back a blight. Keep John off the table again, which we might need to talk about that, because that's starting to loop a very abusive thing.
What's that?
So I'm gonna use 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 to pull back a blight again and play it, which will be the 4th blight of the game for John, which is starting to be a very abusive cycle and an unfun play pattern. So maybe one thing to think about is maybe we change 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 to allow you to only pull back a keyword active card or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and this just goes right back to the most recent playtest before this one, where I had Dave and Alistair, and I was explaining that like my revision for 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 was going to be that he can only pull keyword alien investigation or behavioral cards, but they were both like, no, keep it as it is. And it's like, okay, so I do need more input from those who don't agree. Please weigh in on it, because I'm by and large, I'm going with the majority on this, unless I feel very strongly one way or the other. And of course, 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬's limited by the fact he's only got two,
but
and he's discarded. But just because we do have to actually add that stipulation on his card that he is discarded when the last token is removed. But
the advantage of cards like that is you don't have to draw them; they sit there until you need them. So that's pretty big.
Yep. So if you guys think it should be limited and dial back, please, John, what do you feel? I've got Nathan's thoughts on the record. What about you?
It is going to be frustrating. It does shut me down. Is it too much power?
Do we up the cost?
I just think about not just blight, but think about pulling back. Think about playing 4 copies of unexplainable time loss in a game.
Yeah, if you have him pulling back conspiracy cards, there's definitely a potential for problems for the other player.
I call it looping unfun play patterns, which is all I'm doing here to constrict your resources. But
I mean, I'll sit back and laugh, and it's okay, but it could be frustrating.
So there's another possibility is it could be limited to just active cards.
That would be my suggestion off the cuff. But we can brainstorm.
Otherwise, there's a certain amount of chance. It's like everybody be like, if I get that card in play, I can shut my opponent down for like multiple turns, and that's huge in like a tournament game or something. But if
essentially select one,
people might have other card. But limited to active card might cut back on some of the potential abuse. Yeah,
because it is effectively
unbalancing. I should say, rather than abuse, unbalancing use.
It's effectively a grid pattern search with the keyword resource on it. That's good for 2 uses. But with grid pattern search, we can take any card we want. In this case, if we apply just active only, that does seem to give it a bit of balance.
I think so. And I mean, let's
always start thinking of active cards that we don't want to see come back again and again. But
I mean, it does have the potential to help you as a conspiracy player, because you can pull back, for example, equipment is not a keyword active card. So like I couldn't pull back the shotgun.
Well, oh gosh, yeah, okay. Yeah, like, well, it's not keyword active. It's just active as a
or you could
as an
say an
active.
RP card. You could say an RP card
Yeah,
is what you could do.
yeah,
Or there's red tape. We don't like to see that one bounce out too often.
But
yeah.
sites
Relentless
also do
pursuit.
not have a active keyword or activator. And I think
Yeah.
you still want to be able to pull those back with 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬. So give that some thought. Anyway, we don't have to settle.
Yeah. But well, yeah, because now I'm like thinking about where have we seen that come up for? And we just very recently had a discussion in our Discord community, a very, very long-winded one, regarding flesh sculpting. And now flesh sculpting says play to double the cost of any keyword active card played at the site. Now, we do know that it was a mistake by their part when they say keyword active. They just meant active as an activator. So
Right.
is that applied to, like, well, granted, we wouldn't be playing equipment at that point or sites, so it's kind of a moot point, actually. So yeah, because you wouldn't play. Yeah.
But I think with heights.
No, you're right. Yeah, I think we need to specify that
Just because of his. I think you like angle of this, right?
Sorry, you cut out there, Nathan. Could I trouble you to repeat
Stephen, when
that?
you were designing this, were you trying to? Yeah, so when you were designing this card, I think what you were trying to do is like work in the hypnosis memory recall angle into the game effect. And so I think an important part of that would be like the ability to recall sites. And so maybe if you just say like it has to be an RP card.
Yeah,
Blue,
and the
blue
second
RP
part of it
icon.
where, the second part of it where it says you can have you can have it a reduced cost if you played it like alien investigation or behavioral. Generally, that's going to come from a site. So yeah, that was worked in there, but I'm fine with dialing it back to just resource only cards as opposed to the conspiracy ones. Because you're right. We're really seeing this blight used to great effect. So
anytime you can do something during your resource time to set up your next turn, it's kind of beneficial, I guess, and advantageous, but it does have a balancing effect. I mean, unbalancing effect. But
so
you can play it out some more.
Cards. Yeah, of course. We're only done. We've done 10 play tests, but we're likely to do at least double that. So more opportunities for 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 to come up and get more feedback on how we can make that card not so much of an abusive cycle for the conspiracy player to keep upending the briefing phase.
Now, one other thing to consider.
Go ahead.
Is John, you could have last turn pulled your agents back to the bureau if you wanted to avoid the blight thing.
Yeah.
But of course, then you're sacrificing your ability to investigate a thing. So I'm not sure that's a great answer to the problem.
Yeah.
But anyway, for people watching this, and we can have these conversations in Discord, I do think we need to talk about this a little bit, because this is what you'll see. Somebody will come in with a squeeze or something, like some low cost or a Patnick, some low cost, high efficiency conspiracy card, and just keep turning it around with 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬. And I think that's a little problematic. So
that's a bit strong, and the fact that a witness is doing that too just seems pretty outlandish. Because we normally just the witnesses are usually ones you can set aside as like not that useful. Although we've been trying to make that seem less the case with these fan-made expansions. So this is great. That was a great feedback. I'm gonna head to the back, let you guys carry on, because we got an adversary on the mat.
Yep, and you're about to kick around one of my agents, John. Who would you like to use?
It's got to be Skinner. Yeah, we'll shut him down again. Get him back to the hospital.
Sounds good.
And I think we already decided there's enough stuff to put the Prince of Darkness. Banish him for now.
That's right. All right, so Skinner's in the hospital. He's got 5 damage on him again. Yeah, so
you have enough. You had at least 6 left to bang on this guy with, if I recall.
Yeah, I believe I have 7 total here.
Yeah, so he's going to make it one. He's going to make it 1 round of combat.
Oh, plus Skinner's, yeah. So he's easily got enough. All right, and that leaves me with bureaucracy of 3. Still got 4 there.
Yep, I think you still got what you need. Let me just see if there's any other tricks up my sleeve before I concede. That was it. You can see how much my CP pool and my RP pool are finne.
Yeah. And before the end of my turn, I'm going to do it because I think people need to see that this is an abusive effect here. And I'm going to use Verbers to pull back a blight.
Awesome.
And
what does that blight do with only 2 conspiracy points played?
Only 2 conspiracy points played.
Yeah. Anyhow, we'll let it unfold. I have 1, 2, 3, 7 cards, I think. 1,
Yep.
2.
I gotta ask my my motive question here.
Yes, you do.
Is your motive? I think you're the host. But I'm gonna try to eliminate Eve and ask: is your motive knowledge?
Is my motive knowledge? My motive is not knowledge.
And now the big question is: do I take a 50-50 shot and spare you the indignity of another blight?
That's right. I'm not going to have another turn after this one. So,
and we're starting to get on 3 hours here for this game.
Make your guess. Live dangerously.
Yeah, let's take a guess. Everybody wants to guess. All right, so I think you are the host. So I'm going to guess, John, is your X-File the host?
You have guessed correctly.
Boom! All right, we're off the losing streak.
Yes, your losing streak against me is broken.
All right.
As much as I like the sound of that,
I gotta give you a congrats, Nathan. You snapped that losing streak quite handily, and this was a come from behind victory,
big time.
On top of that, so that really
I had him down to 7 on turn 1 or something, right? Or 6.
That's right.
Yeah, 7, and then even further, you had him down to 3, and I think that's where you've been since for a while, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now in a real game, I would have been guessing a while back, but it's okay.
Right.
Let me see if I can guess this 1 out of 3 though. That would be the real.
I do appreciate you extending this game by avoiding those identity questions to the point where I'm like, we're creeping up on 1 a.m. over here in the Central Standard Time. So I do appreciate that. And you guys have given me, 3 hours of gameplay here and no shortage of Season 5 cards got played in the course of this game. And John, I got to ask, which X-File do you think Nathan is sporting?
I think he had the host. No, I think he had the cigarette smoking man. Sorry.
He sure did.
Yes.
Good guesswork. Your guesswork was spot on the whole night. When you got questions, you got the right answers. So bravo on that. As I like to express as I like to express at the end of each playtest. So the most played cards this evening was most obviously Blight. There was no question on that.
I was blighted many times.
With Distrust in close second. When I wrote these cards, it does not surprise me that I imagined Blight would be a fairly popular card. Distrust, that one is sort of turned out to be a surprise. I didn't expect it would be as widely used or as frequently used during
very
playtesting
useful effect.
Yeah.
First
Um,
cost. I
yeah,
included 2 of those in every deck. I built like 5 different decks or something, and they've all had the like two. That's one of the few cards I'll double up on. So yeah, it's a good card.
and I also want to point out my favorite moment in the game was when Nathan played Mad Scientist at the Polidori residence. So the Mad Scientist gets to negate a scientist card at his own house. So, so that was very fitting. Using those 2 cards from the Postmodern Prometheus episode. My least favorite part, John, was when you sold the FCC button for CP as opposed to equipping it to an agent. So.
Yeah, I could have played that for free.
Yeah.
On
Yeah,
Holly, and I would have in a different circumstance, but I had to keep the conspiracy points up against Nathan. He was just
right.
He was bringing it, and
you
without
guys
my
looked like you were struggling in the resource pool. Your CP pool your conspiracy pool was pretty good throughout, but yeah, the resource pool was
Blight will do that to a
shallow at times. Yeah. So
Blight is
just to recall. Sorry, John, what was that?
No, I'm sorry. I said Blight creates a lot of fallow ground. There's a reason why your resource pool is empty.
So just a recap, because this was a 3-hour matchup. So the questions that arose was, does the -1 cost to the bluffs apply when no secrets here is played? And we're ruling, and we're
right when the cards are played face up, the bonus goes away. Although I guess with Scully, you're not really you're revealing it. You're peeking at it, but it's not really turning it face up. So
correct.
And when you play Scully's token to look at it, you do flip the card back over after it's okay. That's what we know it is. You flip it back over. Then you go to the investigation and you assign your agents. You do your site skill check, and then it's like, okay, now flip that bluff back over again and decide at that point if you're going to pay
importantly, if you look at it with Scully's effect and you forget what it is, you've got to burn another token to look at it.
Card again?
You can't.
Short-term memory issues here. So let me read off. So no secrets here. So we're gonna add a clause at the very end of the card, and I've worked it up to be: bluffs played at this site must be purchased at full cost.
Great.
All right. Excellent. And that should be enough space because there's like 2 lines of text available on that. So that's good. Second question that came up during it is Dr. 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 too powerful to be pulling conspiracy cards on top of, resource cards? And judging from what we saw in this playtest, that does definitely appear to be the case. Just imagine what other cards from the commercially released sets, or even like the Scully set or season 4, you could pull. Like, imagine Nathan repeatedly getting a quarantine zone.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
There you go. So, and so Dave, Alistair, I know you guys were very much campaigning to keep the card as it is, but I hope you guys watch this episode and maybe reconsider that, because I'm very much inclined to agree, because I would not want to see like that sort of like repeat plays for like some very like just digging that knife in as deep as possible. Just kind of sucks a little bit of the joy out of it, and I just don't want to be the progenitor for a card like that.
Answers, but you'd have to start. It's a card that's powerful enough. You'd actually have to start designing your deck to find ways of dealing with it. Just like UTL is a powerful enough card, you have to start designing your deck for ways to deal with it. Okay, I need to rock 4 science here because there's a pretty good likelihood the guy's going to play this. So it changes the way you build your decks. And I think this is a card that's disruptive enough to change the way you build your decks as it currently exists. Not that you can't find ways to build around it, and you'd probably be bringing in cards that you wouldn't normally see. But I don't know the story enough to know what kind of role he has in the X-Files series, whether he's a good bot guy or a bad guy. If he's a guy that would be inclined towards a conspiracy side of things, then maybe it would work. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which that was not the case in the series. So all the more reason to make this make it air towards resource-only cards being pulled from the discard pile. Yes, and the recall the memory recall, such as the nature of his profession for regression hypnosis and all. So I think that's a fair point to make, and I'm very much leaning towards putting that change in there. But of course I do want everyone who's involved in the playtesting to weigh in on it, because it's a very much an important decision when we finally decide to finalize these cards. So those are the two things that came up during this. So this was a very fruitful playtest on top of a very riveting game all around. So we've got those changes to be applied to it when the set is all said and done. So yeah, Dax will have a lot to amend when we get to that point, which is still probably a month or two out. So more playtests to come, lots more cards to try out and make sure that they are mechanically sound. John, I also want to point out you were like an adversary playing machine tonight. Like, we saw no shortage.
Well, Nathan was kind. He gave me a lot of leeway on that, especially when it came to the guy that Null the Vampire. That card you're already playing to Rata, so that it only gets played on affiliation sites. It's as an agent card. I guess allowing me to continually exploit it does show that this card is potentially a little overpowered without some sort of limit. So I thanks Nathan for letting me have the fun of falling on you with that card.
Well, in the interest of combat, I mean, it's a card we've debated, so I was interested in seeing how it went, and I think no surprise when he's facing an agent team that is a big agent team, he's much less effective. But if he's squaring off against a split team and it's two agents, he's gonna do some damage there. So I actually seeing how he performed today kind of makes me like, do we really need to do something with him? But I don't want to reinvent the wheel on that. We've hashed that out a lot. So
yeah, I like cards that you can. Again, the agents with fewer restrictions, because it's sometimes difficult. It's like when you played a moto site. If I didn't happen to have Prince of Darkness on hand, wouldn't have had any real response there. Yeah. So that was kind of cool. And I had to pay the full cost for it. But
yes, and also you played the Mighty Men as well. Yes, and Gnaw the Vampire got 2 appearances, which just also really goes to show that the agent activator is just too broad, because that card is just getting to play, and his built-in effect where he's able to incapacitate an agent. I feel like that,
he's got that blocking effect, but gives him an extra bite.
Right. When we have adversaries in the commercially released set who have that broad activator, like Simon Gates Farrow, he doesn't have a long range combat skill, and the long range combat round isn't skipped. So there's a pretty good chance he's just going to get destroyed in long range before he even gets to deal damage. So that does sort of balance out him having a really broad activator of Believer Agent, which is usually going to get a chance to get played, because a lot of times you do have a keyword Believer Agent somewhere on the team. So yeah, I think that having a bit of a balance between what they can do and what their combat values is.
And I see Earthshine is cool. His description has been narrowed as well, so you have to have a viable target, not just a splitting. But so that was good to know. You guys didn't play the card and see what happens. We were able to have a discussion about it, and I could say, okay, I'm not going to play that adversary because he's not going to do anything against his team. So that was good to know too. I was just reading the card as it before you've decided to change it. It opens a question. It's like, so I appreciate the clarification on that.
And that even comes up when you have like one of the commercially released adversaries in your hand. It's like sometimes you got to look at the situation like, okay, this is my adversary, I can play it, but looking at that team may not be a good idea to do so, because there's either too many agents at that site that they're just going to get destroyed before they get a chance to deal any damage. I mean, that kind of comes with the game. Anytime you're flirting with the idea of playing an adversary. at
I worry
any
about that
site.
a little less in the playtest games because I just kind of want to see what happens.
Yeah.
But they're
Oh,
definitely
gotcha. Me too.
Nathan's team was so strong that losing a guy or two wasn't going to keep them from making the site investigations in most cases. So,
And I'll tell you what really I think, you know, there were some things you did, but I had a lot of witnesses that also could have chipped in. You know, if I was really down on skills at a particular site, I have a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of subterfuge, a
right, you
lot
got a
of, you
backup
know,
plan.
yeah, exactly. So, so that's good. I before we go, I have to ask: did bargaining chip affect you at all? The alien or government cards?
I don't think
Uh,
so.
I
Well,
don't think I
we don't know what
played
you could have
those
played,
cards
right?
if I wasn't doing any alien or government investigation. So for me, most of my decks, that wouldn't be a great choice against
Okay.
my decks. But there were a couple cards once I would look back at it that had alien on them or something, and so there it may have been a factor.
Like
I
distrust.
know when Skinner was in the
is-
when Skinner was in the hospital the one time, it allowed me to
Yeah.
play a couple of bluffs that I wouldn't have otherwise been able to play with his
Yeah.
whatever he had on his back there. So there were cards that were probably denied, or would have been denied if he hadn't been in the hospital.
Sure, I gotcha. And
Yeah,
then,
distrust is one government keyword card that would be affected by that. So, and I know you guys
Go
were
ahead,
playing
Stu.
distrust quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, distrust was one, but there were a couple others that had that. I said, well, I wouldn't be able to play this. Skinner was there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I
so
think
it did
5 alarm
something.
fire. Yeah. 5 alarm
Like
fire.
Uh,
Well,
like
the
Roy
Navy had
Con,
5 alarm
Roy
fire.
Con,
Never
for
mind.
example, he had a
Yeah.
little fun. Uh,
the
he wouldn't been. He
5
would.
alarm.
That's a bluff I couldn't have played. The mummified corpse. Again, those were played when Skinner was out of the
Oh,
picture.
that's alien. Yep.
So those
The
two. But other than that,
the
I'm not
five
sure.
five alarm fire was my absolute favorite play of the game.
Ah,
Because
Or
again,
non-play, such as it
or
was.
non-play, right? But it's just such a power. It is an actual bluff. So you know you play it face down, and it is
yeah.
a bluff. But it just makes the consequences of failing that site so severe you
Mhm.
don't even want to attempt it. And
Well,
I just
like I
so
said, I
it's
think I
such
was
a
on the
well-designed
receiving end
card.
of that in one of the games, at playtest games. I'm like, oh man, this really messes up your game over in the bigger sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do have a slight amendment that I'm going to be making to 5 alarm fire. Just the last sentence, just for greater clarification than
Right.
anything. It's
Right.
going to be, unless this card is negated, remove it from the game after it is resolved. You know,
Right.
as opposed to what it currently says just at the end of the turn. So, so that's going to get it, and I'm going to remove the word any from it, because discard any one active card, just say discard one active card. We don't need any in there. So I'm sure Dax will, it's a card that has a lot of text as it is. So I'm sure Dax will appreciate any chance to, you know, lighten up the number of characters being used in there. Excellent. Great playtest game all around. But before we sign off for the night, again, as I promised at the top of the broadcast, I was going to make an announcement regarding the previously released 040460 Season 4 expansion. And that announcement is that when I say we, Dax and I, are working on a second edition of the Season 4 expansion, much like how the Truth Is Out There edition was released after premiere with some changes. That is going to be happening with the Season 4 expansion, and I'm going to outline what changes are going to be taking place with the Season 4 expansion. Firstly, and this is going to require me to share something from my screen, if I can do so for just a moment. Oh, I should have actually brought up the template instead, but I don't have it saved on here. Should have thought of that, but woulda, shoulda, coulda, right? Anyway, so let me just pull up what we're going to be doing. Share. Okay, so as you'll note from the if you guys had any of the cards in front of you, the template color for the season 4 expansion is currently the same color is currently the same color for the Scully set. At the time when Dax and I were first working on this was back before we really even had our Discord community and all that. We looked at some colors for the cards. And when I say the colors, when you look at the cards, there's that color that's in the sort of the background of each of the suits that carries throughout. So we were looking at applying some alternate colors to the template, but ultimately, because we couldn't really narrow down one we liked, we just decided to stick with the same template that the Scully set had. And over time, we released the set, and then I've seen some of Dax's other work with the personalized cards that he's done. Also, with we've got a purple color that we've currently applied to the season 5 set, which is actually going to be amended as well. But what we're going to do for some a little bit more internal consistency is that those face cards that are going to be part of each set. And here's the one for season 4, if you guys can see that. So you see here, this is the face card for season 4, and there is a face card for season 5 as well. And it's actually a blue color, and that is going. And we're going to apply the same color that we see on this face card to the template, and we're going to do that with each expansion. So the season 4 expansion is going to get a cosmetic makeover in that the template color is going to be changed. What else is happening? There's going to be some graphics added to the cards, much like how with Truth Is Out There edition, they added extra graphics like, the glove on the adversary card, for instance, which no one really likes. But as an example, we're going to add some extra graphics to it that are specific to the 4th season. So you'll see some of those added on to the suits. I won't say what they are because I kind of want to leave that up as a surprise, but we'll share them once the images are made. So yes, we're getting a cosmetic makeover with graphics and color, and there's more. We are also going to be adding an additional promo card to the set because the season 4 expansion has 179 cards with the face card included. And as Nathan, like from from ordering with Dax, like how he states like he's got a certain number of cards he has to place. Like there's a selection number he has to pick in the drop down. So 180 is the number we go for. And so there's actually a gap in the season 4 expansion in that we've got 179. So there's room for one more promo card to be added, and we are going to be adding one promo to this as well. So that's going to be something to look forward to. Looking at updating the Bureau file number to be like 3.5 because this is a 2nd edition. Just like with Truth Is Out There edition, they did amend some of the prefix and suffixes on those Bureau file numbers as well. So looking at doing the same, but more specifics on that as we get closer. So, cool. Gentlemen, what do you think?
Well, as someone who does not have the season 4 cards yet, looking forward to seeing how those ultimately turn out, and getting some physical copies in my hand.
John, the question is, what were the broken cards in the first release that we need to go out and find now?
I wouldn't say any are broken per se. Like we did play test that set 13 times. But I did find some things in there that I'm like, if knowing what I know now, I would have done differently. It's just more of like we have things where every time that card is played, there's a question like, now what happens, when we do this or that, and then I have to all right, what did we decide on this during playtesting? Those clarification questions, sort of like with the clause that we're adding to no secrets here, stuff like that. I'm not changing any of the card. I'm not changing or altering any of the effects on those cards. We're not changing. That's not changed. They are engraved in stone, and they will be part of the 2nd edition. However, I am looking at not confirmed, but toying with the idea of swap. You know how Truth Is Out There edition replaced 30 of the premier cards with 30 new ones, right? So not guaranteed, not saying yet for sure, but I was looking at maybe possibly swapping out 2 or 3, maybe, but that's not confirmed yet. I was
I was wondering when you mentioned the compared to Truth Is Out There, I was wondering if there would be some things that are going to be dropped off,
there's a maybe on that. There's a maybe. But in order to do that, though, I would need to come up with card effects that are without question mechanically sound, and I don't know if I want to just go like do a variation on a theme with existing effects. Again, I'm not committed to that idea yet, but if I do, it'll be no more than 3 cards get swapped out. So that does kind of create that repeat the history of X-Files CCG with respect to how Truth Is Out There edition did replace Premiere, and we saw some new cards added in that second edition. But for sure, there's going to be a promo card added for sure. An agent card is what I'm looking at, and the reason for this is important too, because the promo card that I'm looking to add is a card that is referenced in one of the season 4 cards, and because that card isn't part of this set, the card that's already in season 4 cannot be used. So that's also correcting that by adding this promo to it. So that is part of that plan as well.
It's Marita. It's Marita.
It is Marita. Yes, it is. Good get. Yes, that is what I'm looking to add to as an agent promo. So well done, Nathan. You got the cats out of the bag on that one. So I'm going to be looking to add a Marita agent card as a promo. And what I'm also going to look at doing for those of you guys who already purchased the season 4 expansion, your cards are still good to be used in games. I will look at sending you a copy of that Marita promo when it is released. That is so that way, you know, those of you who already have a set don't feel like you have to get this updated one. You can if you so choose, but what the cards that you already possess are just as fine to be used in a game. So
I don't
Nathan,
have season 4 yet.
Oh yeah, I thought I was going to ask John. I thought you did, but
no, I don't. I don't have it yet. I did ask Dax for it, but he was, so I'm kind of in line for the next print run. And it sounds like the next print run will probably be this revised set, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah, and I would say, given that this is going to be a big undertaking for Dax, but as I said, he doesn't have a whole lot to do with as far as the game goes because he's kind of in a lull right now. But that is going to require him to change the color for all 179 cards. Well, there will be 179 when we add this promo in there. 179 cards. Plus, he has to upload them to the website, front and back, in order to submit this order to create a cart for when he can submit these orders when you guys ask for a full set. So he's got a lot of work to do with that. He's also going to have to add the graphics and stuff like that and update the file numbers. So it's going to be a big undertaking, probably looking at a couple months. So I'm looking at, for now, if you guys want to order a set of season 4 as is, by all means, feel free. I'm not going to discontinue the run of season 4's first edition until the second edition is available for order. When that happens, then the first edition will no longer be printed.
Yeah,
so there's still plenty of time. And Nathan, like I said, you were looking at getting 2, so you could maybe order first edition now and then another copy of second edition later. Totally up to you, but yeah, that's what we're looking at for 2025 while we are still far away from the release date for season 5. So we'll have a second edition of season 4 available hopefully in a couple of months. I'm vying for maybe February, but again, it's going to depend on how quickly Dax can get this turnaround because it is entirely on his shoulders and how fast he can get that done, you know, because he's a busy guy and I understand that, so I'm not rushing him on that, so I don't have a time frame for it, but you guys can still order season 4 first edition if you so choose, or you can decide to wait for second edition when it is released. And stay tuned, and we'll give updates on that as it happens. So exciting stuff, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm still hoping to get some Scully set playtests in anticipation for the upcoming tournament.
Oh yeah, yep. And there's been no update. I haven't really talked to Mike since the tournament ended. So it's Christmas time, so it's
right.
You know, I'm sure, and also I know he's got to be getting those prizes to the winners out as well. So I know he's kind of busy at this point in time. But yeah, we'll look at getting that next tournament going in the new year. It's going to be a smaller one. We should only have about 6 or 7 players for that one, but that's fine. It means it won't take the whole year for it to wrap up like this one did.
No, I was just hoping to get some games in to familiarize myself with the Scully set cards I haven't been playing with. So just to kind of see how they work.
A lot of fun.
For sure. And I do want to stress again to both you guys, as well as our other players in the Discord community who we usually play with on this channel. Guys, I have lots of free time between now and like that first week of January. So please, if you guys want to get some games scheduled, whether they be playtest or non-playtest games, as John was just saying, maybe some Scully set games, please let me know. We reach out. We can schedule some more games, get them on the books. We've got a calendar available. We can schedule games, so we figure out everyone's availability. I have no shortage of free time after tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to taking this time to get some more games in. You know, if you guys have a bit of free time during all of your holiday festivities.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get some more games in. I even have some sealed stuff now. I have enough. I got another box of sealed Premiere the other day.
Nathan, so you hear that? Sealed stuff.
Oh, now you're speaking my language.
Yeah.
So I have
now you're speaking my language,
Premiere
John.
Starters,
we'll have to
sealed Premiere packs.
Do you have booster packs?
Yeah, I just got a box of the day. Got the deal. Got them for like $40. So. Yeah.
I see a future. I see
Let's
a steel deck game in our future. Let's do it. You can, Nathan, you may want to do it on your channel, or we can do it on here. I'm glad to host, but just love seeing the packs.
Oh, look at that! Beautiful.
This was someone back in the day bought this for $9.95.
That is a steal.
Or didn't.
But
I mean, they've all been floating around.
It cost me about $40, which was still a pretty good deal.
Which is still a good deal. Yeah.
Yeah. So
excellent.
And then I have
some packs get cracked.
Similar box of starters on Premiere. So I figured like one box of Premiere starter and 3 packs should be a good sealed deck game.
With
Premiere, I don't think you want to go less than the 3 packs, but
no. What was that,
John? Which 2 ultra rares would you most like to be in that box?
Well, Deep Throat is the most valuable as far as playing as a player. I have acquired most of those because I remember I told you the story before about buying out my friend's game store and having all this stuff and going through it. So, but yeah, Deep Throats would be good. He's somebody I'd play. X, of course, you're always going to play X and Deep Throat, especially in a tournament. Either one of those is a great playable card. Counterintelligence is good, but it's a little too pricey to play regularly. The cosmetic cards where they've only changed the picture, I don't care about those so much. But we'll see.
And most of the time we prefer the image on the regular version anyway. No one likes the Mulder Ken Dowell look.
I think the 𝐗-𝐅i𝐥e𝐬 looks like an improvement, but one interesting thing I saw in a magazine one time is they were suggesting that those ultra rare cards would have some extra ability as well, and that just didn't materialize. But it would have been cool if there was some sort of like slight bonus that would accumulate on the ultra rare cards. And I was always curious to see what that bonus might have been, or what were they thinking back in the day to have some writer suggest that it would be there, unless it was just making it up. But
like
it must have been based on something.
It probably was. It may have been nothing that was actually written, but maybe it was just more like discussions that went back and forth. I should be coming into possession of a complete set of the playtest cards from Premiere, so I can take a look and maybe see if there were some alterations, different versions. Actually, I think that is true, because I think we did see when Mike was making the 1013 playtest cards, we did see a different effect for Skinner that made him like pretty super powerful. But I think that got revamped, and it's now the Skinner chooses a side card that Nathan was just so itching to play tonight. But
Yeah, that's a nice one too. But you got to have Skinner there to make it worthwhile.
And not in the hospital.
Yeah.
man,
There's a reason I was going after him
immediately tonight.
Yeah, he was an abused man for sure.
Which is not unlike what happened in the show, especially in the third season. He got the
Target
crap
number
kicked
one.
out of him regularly, like at least 3 or 4 times. Plus, he took a bullet in the gut in the course of that season too. Season 3 was not friendly to Skinner by no stretch. So,
Go ahead. Beat somebody up.
who?
One of the
Oh yeah, Holly beat up Skinner. Yes, in that same season. Yeah,
something like that.
yep.
Boo,
So left a
Holly.
size 7 heel mark on his face after that. So anyway, it's coming up on 1:30, so I do want to wrap this up and get to sleep, because I got one more shift before the holiday break kicks in. But gentlemen, I want to thank you guys again for availing yourselves for this playtest, and it was a very fruitful one. We do have a few more revisions to these cards that we're going to make as a result of this one, so I thank you both.
Hey, it was fun. Thanks,
Right.
Nathan.
Thanks, John.
Really enjoyed playing games with you, and it's been good. And Steven, thank you for hosting us.
And I look forward to hosting many more, guys. So let's shut the door to this X-Files office tonight, but please be sure to tune in next time for another edition of Alien Investigations. Good night, everyone.
All right. Good night.